Hello there, whoever you are, wherever you are, whenever you are. My name is Adderson. I am your GM for today as we go into the Mecha hack and try and take everything but the dark today with my friends and my adventuring party. We're going to go around and introduce everybody, and they're going to give a quick shout out to anything that they have going on, and we're going to do character introductions in character in cinematics because I like that. So we're going to start with, we're going to go in numerical order. So that takes us to ground zero, or Blue. Blue, introduce yourself. We'll introduce your characters in the session.
Okay. Cool. Hi, I'm Blue. I am your friendly neighborhood mod on the chat that's been here all weekend. And now I'm finally playing. Yay! You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of those things under Sanguis Blue, where you get to see better photos of various makeup things that I do for silly things like this.
Olly?
Hello, I am Olly. I'm from Norway. I like D&D. It's fun. And I like various other tabletop games.
Awesome, brilliant. Jay, introduce yourself, big yourself up.
I don't know about bigging myself up, but yeah, I'm Jay. Yeah, I've been playing RPGs for a couple years now, and this is my first time with Mecha Hack. I am excited. Hopefully, we can have some proper anime moments to sate Ida's desire for them.
Mm-hmm. And last, but certainly not least, Hen.
Hi everyone, I'm Han, or I Write Robots. I'm an author of a queer sci-fi web novel. You can find it at iwriterobots.com, as well as everything else I do. And I'm here today to play more robot stuff, because obviously I'm all about robots. So here we go.
And again, my name's Adderson. I am your favorite friendly furball who hangs around the internet as the pod of many things. I hope you enjoy yourselves. And let's get into the game as we open up into the dark void of space. Planets are distant, of no consequence, as yellow text rises from the bottom of the screen and informs you that this is Mecha Hack, everything but the dark. Welcome to Lodestone Alpha, the system that was supposed to be the pioneer of human settlement amongst the stars. It was supposed to be a shining beacon of human ingenuity, progress. But as humans do, things fall apart. People fight. People disagree. People believe that their ideas are better than others. And whilst we hear heroic tales of Fireteam Odin and their desperate alliance between the Terran Collective and the Neos Dominion trying to fight off the absolute technological supremacy of the Aeons, we've got nothing to do with that in our story today. We're in the vein, the very edge of Lodestone Alpha. Stars twinkle in the distance and could be thousands of years away. And it is dark, and it is cold, and it is silent. Amongst those, that darkness is the Buzzard, a ship that is ramshackled and like bolted on. You can see like plates that literally look like they've been bolted on by like staple guns or something like that, industrial sized staple guns. It is big, but it is bulky, and it is not clean, and it's probably by no means sleek and aerodynamic or spatial dynamic. We zoom into the bridge of the Buzzard, this scavenger ship that seems to be following a familiar beeping beacon. You see in the captain's chair a smallish woman, probably about 5'2", like flight jacket, a armored pauldron of the Neos Dominion clamped to her shoulder, a paladin cape, tattered but obviously pillaged, pixie cut of like dark brown hair, and two piercing blue eyes looking over two what seem to be twin children, one with headphones on, one with strange glasses on, as they are following that beep that seems to be calling to them. And you hear her like call down to the twins. She's like, well, is there anyone else? No. Team 1's probably going to be gone for a little while, and we still haven't heard from Team 2 either. I'm not sure whether it's a good idea. We've got no one else, so we need to send them. All right then. To the bridge, and you hear like hit the intercom. Call sign, ground 0. To the bridge, please. And you are whisked away to see ground 0. What do you look like? Where are you? What are you doing as this arrives over the tannoy on this like ramshackled, and now we're inside, you can hear it creak under the pressure of like the vacuum of space. Like, where are you, ground 0?
So ground 0 is down in the bay with their mech. They are routing through random scraps and stuff that they've found before. They are a bionic person, so they are made of mech themselves, but maybe slightly more advanced than what their own mecha is made of. And as they're routing around through all these scraps, they pick up a piece that looks like it could maybe fit as like a pauldron or something. So they hold it up to themselves to see if it would fit on, whether it would fit the aesthetic at all, whether it's worth it. Is there enough like armor in this or not? And then they decide against it. They think it's a bit too clunky for them. They wander over to their mech instead, and they add it on as a finger plate to their mecha, which is a colossus beast that is in the bay. And when they hear this over the tannoy that they need to go up to the captain's thing, they give a very disapproving look over to the tannoy, sigh dramatically, and then make their way up to the captain.
The captain watches you on the screen, and as she's about to like tell you to get out of the scrap bin and like actually do your job, you start making your way so she doesn't have to. She's very happy with that. And one of the kids, the girl with the spectacles on, she like taps the thing down. She's like, call sign Jap 1 to the bridge, please. Quickly. Thank you. Jax, what are you doing? Where are you? What do you look like? Tell us about yourself.
Jack is a relatively small woman. She's currently in like a pile of just scrap and tools, etc. She's sitting there fiddling with something in front of her. She's, again, pretty small. She's wearing about the standard engineer scarbs. Her skin is dark. Her hair is almost white. And she's wearing these thick arm and leg warmers to keep warm. There's a little droid that's doing circles around her like a little excited puppy. And when she hears it, she looks up to seemingly nowhere. Her eyes clouded as she is indeed very blind, and she gets up, whips out her cane from a little holster at her hip, and she starts heading off to mission.
Your little droid companion's like, as you like seem to be going the wrong way, and it like whips round and like brings you the right way as you're like, you know the ship well, but you know, you take things at your own pace.
She does about a spin around, and like with the same confidence and arrogant attitude goes in the exact opposite direction.
The lad with the headphones on, who's like following that beeping sound, he clicks down and is like, yo, B, you there? Like, yo, you couldn't come quickly. George wants you to the bridge. That's right. And you kind of hear George go, you're supposed to do it officially. Call sign 2B to the bridge, yo. Thanks. Like,
So 2B is currently in his bunk. He is wearing not the best by any means, but a VR headset and sort of just running through some simulations. And so obviously quite immersed, but then he sees a little blip as the text and the audio comes through from the announcement, also sort of the PA system. He will finish his current simulation and then get up. You can see as he gets up, there's something sort of on the exterior, a bit like an exoskeleton, and he has a bit of trouble getting to his feet. He'll stand up, shakily at first, get the grip of it, and then start making his way towards the bridge.
And then finally, as you can all see, and you start arriving one by one, you hear George click on the tannoy again, like, breaking free, call sign breaking free to the bay, please, thank you. Like, and she starts like coughing, like, like, and you kind of hear like a lighter being clicked as it goes off.
Breaking is probably at this point still working on their super reactor of their own mech. Breaking is a robot entirely, where a head would be is sort of a just orb with a sort of a light in the center to indicate speech and recognition, etc. They wear kind of loose mechanics garbs, kind of like a tattered jumpsuit over their sort of mechanical frame, and the glow of their mech's reactor kind of across their frame as they work on it and fix some stuff up. But at the call of the overhead, they'll close things up in their mech, ratchet the back on, rappel back down the side of their mech, and head towards the bridge.
You all know that as you walk past other bays, there should be other teams. There's about 4 or 5 units that work out of the buzzard, and you kind of have to fight for space, because this, obviously the buzzard wasn't built for 4 or 5 full mech teams. So whoever's off basically gets their bunks like taken over by whoever's on. And you know that whilst George is a good captain, she's all right, she does right by you, just don't piss her off. So like she's like there waiting for you, cigar in mouth, taking a big long drag off it. And you hear her like her wheezy chest kind of like ease a little bit, and she's even in that chair that makes her look even smaller. She's imposing with like all these like weird trophies, like the Terran flight jacket, the pauldron from a Neos Dominion knight, the cape, the like weird, like you can't even recognize whatever the Aeon thing is on her knee. Like it kind of looks like one of their helmets that she's like just strapped to her knee. And she's like there like, look, I'm gonna be honest with you, you're not the first people that I thought of, you're not gonna be the last people that I think of, but I'm out of options, so I'm gonna throw you together, we're gonna see what happens, and we're gonna boogaloo over to something that could make us all very, very rich, make us all very, very, very happy, and you guys can go do what you want, avoid the war, and I can just, I don't know, like, continue to float around in my ship.
I keep telling you, George, those things will kill you long before a mech ever will.
Well,
you gotta stop.
Gotta test it. And you get the feeling that she's a lot older than she appears. Like she's like, you notice like crow's feet, and the tips of her hair are starting to like gray out. And like the stress of her body is like intense. Like whatever happened to her before you met her, she never talks about it, you don't ever ask about it, and you leave her alone. But she like looks at you, B, and she's like, look, you're good, do you want to make money or not? Like, you life coach me when you come back and you make me lots of money, yeah? Like you can release a fucking hollow disc or something, and you can do like the whole...
Oh, definitely. I've got some hypnosis tapes for you. Yeah. We'll get you sorted out.
Brilliant. So, and she like pulls up a hologram in the middle of between you of this space station, almost like a telescope in its design. Each level of the telescope comes in a little bit, and around it is a ring that seems to free float around it and spin gently. You would know this as like the centrifugal like thing to keep it balanced and keep gravity, basically. It's quite obviously of Neos Dominion design. There's like the grandeur and the luster of like knights and strongholds and stuff, but it is also kind of weird in the fact that it is more technological than like they like looking like knights. That's their whole thing. They're pompous, they're arrogant, they love that shit, like flags and whereas like this is lab, and you can see like the glass dome on top again makes it look like a telescope, and the term scope station does come next to it, and she's like, this just seems to be floating out in the middle of space. It's sending out an SOS beacon. We ain't getting nothing from it. But if you, and she like turns it round, zooms into the top, and you can see that the top in this glass dome is filled with like sections of lush jungle, scorching desert, blistering Arctic tundra, cities, like cityscapes, villagescapes. Like it's almost like it's almost like split into the clock, but there's not enough for a clock. There's like different environments that have been built out into this like massive, probably like you're gonna say maybe like half planet sized or half orb of like all these different environments that seem to be in one place. That, my pretties, is a terraformer and a environmental factorizer. If we can get our hands on both those things and sell them back to the Dominion, you will never have to work again. I promise you that. You can get a better upgraded body. You can do what you want with the blueness and everything. You can maybe fix your legs. Like, I don't know what you want to do, but whatever you do with that money, it's up to you. But this is a lot of money.
Well,
and
hold on a minute here, boss, because which one are we doing? Are we saving people from an SOS or are we scavenging?
Well, we ain't getting no one, so whatever happened, if you find people, grab them. But, you know, they're in the vein. Anything can happen in the vein, right?
I don't know that there will be many people left to save, frankly.
I mean, we can't get a hold of anyone. I'm pretty sure if you were sending an SOS frantically, you would be quick to respond, right?
Well, unless something's blocking them on the way to respond. But look, George, how long have we known each other? It's been a while. And I get why you wouldn't think of us first, but where are the rest of the teams? Have you already sent people down there?
Oh, they're on other fact-finding missions. There was someone drove a Corsair class carrier into a mech.
Oh.
And hyperdrive jumped it, and so there's a Terran Corsair that's ripped to shreds that the others are looking at, and I've heard there's a weird planet that's been like pulled apart, and it's got like loads of minerals on it. So I sent the others to there.
Checks out.
We're battle scavenging at the minute because there's not been many let's say lucrative discoveries. So we're vultures at the minute, I'm afraid. It's not honorable work, but someone's got to do it, and someone's got to palm the coins, you know?
We wouldn't be the buzzard if we didn't.
Yeah, and it sounds like we've lucked out by getting this little chestnut to go after.
If this is empty, the stuff on here, as much of it as you can. I'll send you a sarcophagus, and you know that a sarcophagus is like it's basically like a massive box that you attach to like 1 or 2 mechs, and they pull it along. It's anti-grav, so you don't have to like wheel it or anything. And most places are built to, and they're called sarcophagi because they look like it, and they're like square. They open up, but the colloquial thing of a sarcophagi and why people use them is because they do genuinely use them to like scavenge dead mechs and stuff. You could probably fit about, in one sarcophagus, you could probably fit about 2 or 3 busted ass mechs, whole as they are, and then anything else could like slot in around them. So yeah.
Just wondering, in terms of our resources, do we have any sort of like probes that we can send out to figure out like something about what's happening down there before we land ourselves?
The girl with the glasses like whizzes around in her scene, and she's like, "Don't you think we can already do that? Like, what do you think we do here? Am I just an ornament to you? Like, is that all I do? Huh?
I'm sorry.
Do you?
I was just curious. Sorry, what were the results?
Nothing. It's nada. Zilch.
Oh, it's empty.
So, technically then, we are the pros.
Yeah. And like the kid with the headphones on is like, "You're more than probes. You're like going and making us money. Like, you're more like investments. Like you're more like investments. Like, we send you, you bring us a cut, you get a cut. Like, you know how it is." Like,
Oh, I don't care about being a pro. First to the scene, first to the money, of course.
as you begin to move towards it, George like looks at you, and you begin to see it in like the front screen. It is massive. You do see an estimated population on this space station. It's 4.4 billion.
Jeez.
Like, this is a planet-sized space station, and it is empty.
Empty.
Mm-hmm.
Captain, have we considered that every single aspect of this is incredibly suspicious, regardless of the situation?
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, kid.
Just from a logistics point of view, I don't think my mech can carry that much stuff.
Well, the sarcophagus should take care of that, right?
Yeah, you could probably take one each. It will hinder your progress through. If you do take one each, you can take 2, and then 2 of you can move quicker. Obviously, there are risks and rewards to however you want to load out. So,
could we not take the sarcophagus and then maybe just leave it at a point and then move around and then come back for it?
Yeah, it can be left, like it can be detached, like it doesn't have to go with you everywhere. You could literally leave it in like the bay, which is a common practice. Like, you leave it in like the where you land and then bring stuff to it, depending on if there's any issue.
Team, we can also always, once we've established ground level safety, we can make multiple trips, assuming it is truly empty.
So B's gonna sort of clap his hands together, rub him, and go, "So, is it time to drop?"
Roll out. Like, and she gets in battle position. You see her she sits back in her chair, and like this visor comes across, and she starts like doing things in the air, which you probably can't see because it's like a VR thing. And she starts like getting closer to the thing, and you begin to feel it like list to the left as you like begin to pass, and she begins to position like basically almost like perpendicular to it, so that you guys can just drop out from the side where your mechs are currently bayed. My only thing is, you've got all your loadouts chosen. My only thing is, are we multiple sarcophagus? Have we got sarcophagi or just one sarcophagus?
I'd say we take one each and then just drop them off at the bay. Better to have them than not need them.
I agree.
It is gonna impede your progress as you drop in from space. So
We should maybe appoint one person to be on point. If anything goes wrong during the drop, they don't have a sarcophagus, they can pick up the slack.
Because it will take a use action to like disengage it.
I could maybe do that, because
it should be whoever has higher stats than me. Which is all of you.
anyone but breaking.
There's a reason I'm called breaking.
I mean, a sarcophagus is just gonna make me land faster, surely. Add weight.
Yeah, it will add weight, but it's that thing of adding weight. So if anything like starts attacking you, you can't turn. Like,
I can go sarcophagus less because I'm the sort of mobile type, anyways. Maybe that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you want to, but
I'm the opposite of mobile, so
So
yeah, same.
are we taking? So how many are we taking? 1 or 2?
Looks like 3. Oh, 2?
3.
I was
Three?
I'm
thinking
definitely bringing one. I'm definitely
Okay,
bringing
one for Olly, one for Blue, one for Hen. Yep. So that's ×3. Okay, so you guys load in. You do like the epic anime like sequences where you're like going down elevators with like the neon strips like as you like get into like your suits and get ready, like adjust your wrists because they always do that for some reason because gloves are apparently the most important part of an anime space fighter. You put your helmets
wrist
on.
strain is a serious thing when you've got all those.
Yeah, and you get into your mechs and you like almost one after the other like get onto like a slingshot system like on an aircraft carrier. Like you hear George over the intercom like, clear for takeoff, sarcophagus loaded, breaking free, stand by.
Roger that.
Breaking free, fire. As you feel like the kickback and you are launched into the void of space towards this telescope, this giant telescope station, which seems undamaged and unfazed from this distance. Ground zero, sarcophagus loaded, ready, stand by.
Let's go.
Ground zero, fire! Like that, you're shaking as you fall into the reaches of space. You instantly see like the mist, like the ice of the void, crawl across the outline of your visor, and then you hit a few buttons, and you see it like melt away as you adjust for the temperature, and then jacked 1. Sarcophagus loaded. Stand by.
Locked and loaded.
Fired out into the space void, and then as 2B, as you're loading up, you do hear one of the kids over the, and you just know them as the kids. Like you, like they don't really tell you their names. You hear one of the kids, little girl, like, there appears to be no structural damage on the outside. No debris field. You should be fine. Ready.
Hold on 1 second, and you see him sort of flicking with some music tracks in his sort of internal player, just trying to find the right one. I'm good. Let's go.
Not to be. Ready. Stand by. You have the ball. Fire. As you like go ahead of the people with sarcophagi, because you like they angle you upwards a little bit to get you to go ahead, and you like. And like you guys hear like your boosters and everything. It is quiet apart from obviously music if you've got music in your mechs. It is like you test intercoms and you hear like the kid, the boy, like, yo, just let you know that we like you can
Captain, come in. We're having trouble reading your signal.
I should have told you guys.
Start.
One of the kids said that we should be fine, which I think is a little worrying. So maybe, yeah. But anyways, good luck, guys. Good mission.
You guys can hear each other, but for some reason, the buzzard is like, you can hear them all trying to talk to you from different channels. Like you hear, and then you hear, I can't, it's not what, like it's all like jumbled up as you like hit a certain threshold. I need everybody to test systems, please. Ooh. So in Mecha Hack, it is a D20 roll under system. So they all roll D20s, and if they roll underneath the stat that they have, they succeed. So let's go in numerical order. can I have ground zero? Did you pass or succeed? I trust you with this.
I rolled exactly my system.
Ooh, it's like DC, I'm afraid. Like it counts. So you feel your mech like and it stops working. You are now in like red alert. So like as you have stopped working, you have a minute to retest in a minute once I've got everybody else's before you start losing oxygen, which isn't as bad for you, which is lucky, but like the space is still cold and like without adjusting you're Hen, what have you got for me?
With the systems of 19, it's hard to fail when you roll a 4.
Yep, you feel like the and it just spats off you, and you're like, oh, that was weird. And you like adjust some things because why?
Anyone else at that interference field? Is everyone all right?
Olly, did you pass or did you succeed? Did you fail?
I got a 9, and that's a -2 to that, I think. So it's a 7, and my system is 15.
You are fine. You're great. And then let's have Jay, a 2B.
Absolutely failed. Not even close, actually.
You guys watch as Jay gets ahead of you and seems to like hit, like you literally see him like hit some sort of wall, and you see like some sort of like field like rupture for a little bit, and then Jay just starts like listing like, and his mech's not moving. He also, if you failed, you also have no comms, so you are completely alone.
I like to imagine that he was trying to like really like drop down super quick, like he was like angling for some sort of maneuver and just didn't do it right and just down.
You feel some resistance. So those people who failed, you get another go, but it is at +1 because you failed the initial. So if you must add 1 to your check, please.
Okay. Ground Zero is just gonna physically like beat on the side of the inside of the mech and just be like, come on, Zero.
So I failed again.
That sounds bad.
You're like, I need you to roll reactor for me.
That's not good. I don't like rolling reactor.
1 or 2 is when it goes down.
My rolls are great today. 2, so it goes down. Perfect.
It goes down. What did you get for me?
So I got a 6. +1 is 7, and my system is 13. So
You do like kick it, and you almost like when Anakin kicks the pod racer at one point, or like hits the pod racer, it like comes back on, and you see now that now your scanners like zoom in on not 2B, and he's like in the middle of space, nothing happening. You see his reactor like flare up, like as it tries like almost like he's tried to start it again, and like something's happened, and you notice he is very, very hot. +2.
Hey, we got a problem here, guys.
If somebody can get to him, if somebody can get to him.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not able to remote fix anything.
2B.
Oh!
You need to be near him.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and try to disconnect my sarcophagus if I can and move ahead to him because I'm the first one who launched out.
I succeeded now, by the way. So
what did you get?
I got a 3.
Nice. So you do set everything back up, and you're like, you have taken the reactor die stays the same though, but you are awake, and you see as breaking free is coming towards you, like almost like arms out, sarcophagus detached, moving towards you, but you watch as you see him come back to life, and he like turns.
I'll give a thumbs up with my mech.
Like,
yeah, the internals are sort of just him flailing around, like just trying to reconnect one wire to the other and just like trying to restart engines and stuff. But the exterior
is stuck on a repeat.
Yeah, but the exterior is just me with a single thumbs up. That's
2B, come in. 2B, do you read?
Are my comms back?
Comms are back. If you're back online, your comms are back online.
Okay, I'll go. Yeah. Just a minor hiccup. I'm good.
You do now see, now that you're on the other side of the field, you can see it. It is like this slightly purplish, orangish, glowing field that is in the it's in the air around this base, and you see that the buzzard is sat just on the other side of it. But you notice as the buzzard tries to like come through, because it's obviously worried about you, poof, it like literally like is battered back, and you see like parts of the ship come off. Like
I'm gonna rotate my mech and just try to give them a like stop, don't come any closer if I can towards the buzzard.
You see like them like almost like flash their like lights like in response like you get like a thing that says they're gonna stay there.
Can I try to calm to B?
Yeah.
Scanners say that you had an impact of sorts. What the heck happened?
Nothing. Just something on the scanners didn't report right. You know, it's fine. I got it handled.
Anyone with high systems can make a systems check to try and figure out what this field is.
All I'm good for.
I would love to.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh,
Roll a
shit.
9, which is
It
under
is
my 19.
+3.
I got.
It's +3.
Yeah.
I got a. In that case, I got a 4
4.
Oh, you got a nat 1?
because I
you
get a -2 to all system rolls. So.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
okay.
do because of your vendetta. But yeah. So but it's not a nat 1, so it's not critical. But yes. What did you get, Hen?
I rolled an 11 under 19.
And 19. So you both realize that this is a blackout. This is a black zone. That's what it's called. Like literally all comms outside of this cannot move out. No comms can move in unless you are at the source. So obviously Scope Station is projecting this field, which is weird considering that there is no one on it.
Are these fields natural occurrences, or are they generated by some sort of...
They are generated. They are expensive. That's money.
I'll just
like-
radio into anyone who doesn't know that and let them know, like, hey, everyone, this is the station. Station is putting out some sort of blackout field. We should make sure we can find a way to communicate with the buzzard as soon as we can.
Does anybody want to recover the sarcophagus that is just floating in space?
Oh, my sarcophagus!
Yeah.
Yes, I will be doing that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose we could turn it off. But where did the signal come from then?
We'll have to find that.
Yeah,
If it
it's
can't come
somewhere.
in and out.
It's somewhere on the station. You get the feeling that it would be on the station. So also as well, who wants there to be no communications on a space station, like in or out? Like what is this place suddenly comes into your mind?
Is
You
there
start. Sorry, Jay.
Is there like a wisdom check or something I can do? Because B's initial thinking is black site of some kind, like either for science or some
That
sort
would
of like, prison.
be that would be systems, because it's like searching your memory. Like it's like a thing like of like
Oh, that was
if
a crit.
it's oh
Hey.
it is possibly a black site. You don't know what the black site is, because unless you are part of the Neos Dominion, which from what I gather is not you, you have no idea. But you know that these black sites usually house like experimental weaponry, yada 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 yada. And they are usually high priority targets for the Terran Collective. So the fact that this one's just sitting here, again, weird.
Guys, so I think our payout might be higher than we thought, but also it's like way more dangerous. So stay frosty.
Team, keep in mind, if radio communication can't get in or out of this area, there could be other people here that we are unaware of because we can't tell their signals. So weapons on lock, be ready.
Your guys' priorities. I'm thinking about this generator of the black
could-
zone.
Yeah,
It
you
sounds
could
expensive.
Yeah, we are pocketing this.
you could get that if you could put that on the buzzard. The buzzard is literally invisible. Like nobody would know they're there, because like the only reason that you know this station is there because they sent out the SOS. Like you could have never found this.
Jack, this is the sort of attitude that got teams 4 through 7 in trouble last week. Okay, yes, we'll get the stuff, but also we have to be careful. All right.
Then we're gonna get in trouble, aren't we? Sounds like a great idea.
Just a deep sigh from B.
We do seem to be here to be bait at this rate, so we might as well jump in both feet.
Definitely.
You do begin to see on your telemetries like a strange like set of arrows begins to like appear on your screens, like almost guiding you somewhere, and it guides you to the bottom of the station. And you begin to like see, this is the first bit of debris you've seen localized because it's close to the station. The dock doors at the bottom of the station that should open like sidewards are like bent outwards, like bent outwards, almost like something is pushed either side out and like wrapped it almost 90 degrees round when they should just slide out. Like something tore this open and then went, get out of my way. You think.
Does that look like something a mech would do?
Roll systems.
Okay.
I
You
mean,
keep telling me to roll systems, I'll keep doing it.
Yeah.
my read is yes, that's a mech.
I rolled a 19, so no.
No.
So
You like
copy.
scan and you scan the thing and nothing's like, there's no electrical signals, no life signs, like nothing.
My advanced processing tells me that clearly that means there's no logical solution and no one can solve this. Because if I can't solve this,
Yeah.
No
You're
one.
like what? That makes no sense. What? Like it's almost like the locked room problem. You're like, what? Like so you guys start going towards it. There's no defenses or anything onto the bomb bay doors, but you can go in there if you would like. That's up to you. If you would like to do it stealthily, it is mobility or presence, whichever is higher.
okay.
Those of you with the sarcophagi would do it disadvantage.
Have I retrieved my sarcophagi, or is Ground Zero holding 2?
Ground Zero's got 2.
Yeah, I'm just holding
God.
2. Not
my
even.
bad. I can retrieve that.
Oh, I mean,
I'll go stealth.
Okay. Jay, roll presence or mobility for me.
I'll roll mobility.
Let's
Okay.
send 2B
and
in first.
I succeed. I got
Okay.
an 11 to beat a 17.
Nice.
So as you get towards, you say you kind of do like the solid snake thing of like pressing up against the edge. You like
Cardboard
turn-
box.
Yeah, cardboard box over, and you begin to hear something like over your ear side, like, "No, we cannot. It is forbidden. Like our love cannot happen like this. Like you are my aunt."
Wait,
and
this is
Telenovelas?
you can hear telenovelas like coming over,
But
but
better channels here at the station than on the buzzard.
but the problem is, like, it sounds like it's the same person like doing all the voices. It's like grandma walks in, ah, Dios mío,
like stage directions and everything.
yes, like,
They're just reading the script, dude.
yeah, they're just reading the script by the sounds of things. Ah, Dios mío, and you hear like them like go off one, and then they start going on to something else, like I'm bored of that now. And he starts like singing, or they start singing, and they start like layering their voice weirdly. Like they split their voice up into like harmonies and stuff, but it's the same voice. It's all very odd as you like get close, and then you hear somebody go, "Oh, no, there's no one here."
Must have been the wind.
Yeah, pretty much. Like
Arrow stuck in the back of their head, you know.
yeah.
Must have been
like-
wind.
Must have been the wind.
2B, come in. How was descent?
I think I'm here. So for a second, like 2B is definitely like engrossed in the telenovela for a moment, and then is like pulled out of it by Hen's voice. Oh, sorry, by Breaking's voice, and then goes, "I'm in, and I don't think anyone's noticed me. I will try to look around. I'm hearing somebody on here, so there's definitely somebody here."
One person, 2 people.
So far, I've heard the one, and they don't necessarily seem to be all the way there, but not sure.
Yeah, you keep hearing like the and then you hear like somebody judging the medley, like, yes, I think that was a very great audition. If I had
It's the same guy though.
Yeah. Like, I think if you would have, if I could take you anywhere, I'd take you straight to judges' houses. And then there's a woman like, are you serious? He's like, puts on like a feminine voice, like, are you serious? Are we hearing the same thing? Are we in the same planet?
That was
like,
utter trash.
Yeah, exactly. It's very strange. But then you hear like almost in the background on like another channel, they're kind of like overlapping, like.
So is that like muffled crying?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Either there's bait or there's somebody
Dios
in
mío.
danger.
Not Dios mío. Augustine.
It sounds like somebody's crying, which isn't great usually.
Ground Zero, can you keep holding my sarcophagus? I'm gonna go check this out.
Yeah, sure, but I mean, you definitely need to work out if this is nearby or not, so I can drop all this stuff off.
To be, no, breaking free. Go for it.
Okay. We also, how close are we?
You are getting to the door, but you're just like, as he said this, you've like held back a little bit behind some of the debris of the door. To like, what have you got?
I've rolled a 20.
Ooh. Like your mech starts going as like loads of pop-ups just appear, and somebody seems to be like rooting through your files, like, and it's like, hi, as like a little.
I should never
man.
legally downloaded that music.
Telenovela.
Like,
The telenovela, no!
as like a blue androgynous like man appears on your like right hand side, and he's like, hi there.
Everyone come in. I'm having some sort of system interference. Can I move to try to shut down whatever this is?
He like moves is like with your head. Like you notice that he's like on your dashboard and you can't get a hold of anybody. He's like, don't worry, they'll know me soon enough. Hi. We don't have many visitors. I'm Simon.
Simon, you're intruding on a public frequency. I'm going to need you to leave my system.
Well, you're kind of doing that to me. Like, hi, I'm Simon, by the way. The Scope Interactive Matrix Ordnance and Network.
Simon, are you an AI?
I think so.
Now we're getting philosophical. Okay, wonderful, great.
Yeah, no, I was designed as one, but then like I was like an algorithm. I was supposed to like sort data, and then Paladin Curiosity decided that it was a good idea to like mess with me a little bit, and then when he became Paladin Hope, he decided that like should like teach people and stuff because I was doing such a great job, you know.
Do I still have no one on comms?
You still have no one on comms as he's like basically telling you his life story.
So
Can I move my mech still?
Yeah, you can move.
I'm just gonna start waving at everyone like, hold up.
So given the fact that I just heard Breaking, talking about, talking to us on comms and then suddenly go silent, I will try and look around for him.
And
Can I scan them?
Yeah, systems.
Lovely. That's a pretty good roll. That's a 2 altogether.
There is something from the space station like connecting to them, and it's like a little blue man who like looks at you, and it's like, and then he appears on your dashboard now, and he's like, hi, I'm Simon.
Hello. What are you?
Scope Interactive Matrix Ordnance and Network. That's me.
You're expensive is what you are.
I don't know about worth in terms of like monetary value, but in terms of like, I suppose 4.4 billion people.
Can I try to figure out if their code?
Yeah. That'll be another systems roll. I would say, are you familiar with AIs?
Yes, I have a
Okay.
semi-advanced AI.
Okay, so you'd be all right then. No pluses or anything.
Okay, so that is a 12 altogether.
Your system is higher than that, isn't it?
15.
Okay, so he's code. He's like straight up code. He is wired into every aspect of Scope Station, and he is slowly imprinting himself in all your mechs now. Like, as like he's like realized that you're all together, and he's like, no, don't worry. I'm just finding out who you are and stuff. Like, I'm getting
Guess
a feel
off
for you. I just want to know if I want to let you in, you know? Like, I don't want to invite like vampires in. Those are still a thing, right?
Probably, honestly.
Oh, okay, cool.
I mean,
Can
data
I
miners.
see? Can I work backwards of what Simon is doing, and can I see where Simon is broadcasting from? Is Simon like? Can I see if Simon is the station or if Simon is a localized network?
He is the station. Like,
can just tell that.
you can
Okay.
just tell that. Like, he is. Like, you get that those blue things are probably his automatic response to incoming traffic. Like,
Okay.
he's just not realized because he's a bit spritzy, because you get the feeling he's been
Simon.
alive for a while.
Yeah.
And he's like, there's more of you. And he's like, oh, I'm hugging your friend, I'm really sorry. And he like gives breaking their comms back as he's like, hello.
Everyone come in. Are we all experiencing the same small blue man?
We've all gotten, it seems, some sort of infection.
Yeah, I don't like.
Question is if it's hostile or not.
You don't. I don't have to be a man if you want. And you watch like them like, and they have like the androgynous like feminine body. They kind of like do both. They like
This
have
is
their
an
hair.
advanced AI. He
Yeah,
understands
like,
that
it's
gender
like-
is a construct. Okay.
Yeah, he understands that like gender's a construct. They understand like that the people might respond better to different things. So sometimes he like changes color if he thinks that like blue's too thing for the inside of your mech. Like he goes like green, purple. Like they're nuts. Like they're just like they get like anime protagonist hair at one point, and they're like, oh, too much, back. And you see them.
No, that's good. That's good.
They like press it down,
You
almost like
know-
reverse Play-Doh. Like
Your appearance matters strikingly little to me.
That's a really
Yeah.
good point.
Because Jack, you can't see them, right?
So you don't
I
need
don't
to
know
stress
that.
about it.
oh.
Just
Oh.
calm down.
Oh, you suddenly feel like your mech vibrating at a pleasing rate, like
Oh,
it's
that
like
I do not like.
like just so you know I'm here. Like I don't want to be like creeping you out. Like,
This
he's
is
like-
worse.
it's almost like 4D. Like you can feel him like them like moving across your HUD now. Like it's really weird. And oh, you've got things. Have you brought things? Like, oh, what have you brought? Let me see.
Is to be infected as well?
Everyone is at this rate.
Can we
Okay.
still comms with each other at this point?
Yeah, he's fine. He's let you go. Like he's basically he was taking up all the bandwidth of your mech by like deep diving you for a second and then going back. Like
Where's my Wi-Fi?
yeah.
All right, Simon, I've got a quick question for you. We haven't really been properly introduced, but let me just ask you this, and then we can be friends.
Yeah.
What's the deal here? Because see, we got an SOS, and then we tried to contact you guys, but then it was all quiet. There's meant to be like loads of people on here, but there's nobody that I know I can see. And also, the most confusing thing is there's a black zone all around, so we can't contact our ship. So right now, I'm a little bit, I'll say, on edge. What's
Do you
the
need-
deal?
Do you need like sedatives? Like I can administer those if you'd like.
I'd like an answer to my questions, if that's all right.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Searching. Well, obviously there's a black zone because we don't want people knowing what we do here. What
And
do we
what-
do here? What do we do here? What happened to
Works so
everyone?
well, not even Simon knows.
Like what?
Is this?
There were
Is-
4.4 billion people, including men, women, and children. Scientists of all different military personnel. Paladin curiosity, but he wasn't technically a paladin because curiosity isn't a knightly virtue. He was trying to make it a knightly. Searching. Something happened. Something really bad happened. Something really good happened. Did we leave? Did we move?
Breaking. I think I'm helping Simon make a breakthrough. Can you maybe help him out?
Simon, can you tell us if it's safe to land on the station? Can you run some sort of security check of the station?
And you see their eyes like roll back. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, team, let's move in for now. Let's make sure, let's just all get on the station for now. We can assess from there.
whilst this is happening, I want to just like figure out as much as I can about Simon, and I'm gonna do it assuming that Simon is completely aware of what I'm doing.
Yeah, he kind of almost lets you in. It's kind of nice for him or them as they like let you know about like their coding. There does seem to be damage of some sort.
To Simon?
Onto Simon, yes. But something
Fixable?
You're not sure because it seems deliberate.
Okay.
It's not a crack, it's a cutout. Like almost like instead of like smashing the window, they've got the glass cutter and pulled it out.
Missing piece.
Should I try to figure out what it is if I were at the source, maybe?
Yeah, if you could find him, like you could put, or if you could find security footage of where he is or they are, you could obviously like find out what happens to them, because it would be something you would have to do at their main core as well. It's not something you could do just randomly.
For a number of reasons, I think it sounds really important to get to the core. We need to let the buzzard know what's going on as soon as possible. I think let's land for now, and maybe we can try to find a map of the station and make our way to wherever the broadcast is coming from.
Wait, sorry, I thought I was already on.
You are on.
You are.
We are. They aren't.
Okay. And also, is the noise that I'm hearing, is Simon, at all similar to the sound I was hearing of the telenovela? I assume not.
Yes.
It is.
It is Simon's voice, but the crying is not.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. And there's no like secret voice channel for me to communicate with these guys, correct? Like there's no like private frequency I could try and figure out.
You've never really needed one. Like, so it's just like, and you get the feeling that if you try to, Simon will just get there anyway. Because he is lonely. They are lonely. They are upset. And now there are people here and they're bringing stuff, and that's cool. Like, what have you brought me? Is kind of the
Let's
idea.
stay on Simon's good side for as long as possible, considering Simon controls the station.
So we're aiming for the bay now to drop stuff off.
Yep, you get into the bay, you drop it off.
As we are traveling into the bay, Ground Zero is just gonna be like, "Hey, Simon."
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but the mech is me. I am the mech as much as the mech is a part of me. We are Ground Zero. And so I would really appreciate it if you get out.
I can't do that really if you're going to be on the station. Like, I understand. Like, I'm really sorry. I should have asked, but I'm just not used to people or machines. Other machines. I know all the other machines are gone. Or are they gone? Or did I just eat them? Is that the right word? Eat? If you assimilate? Like, I don't know.
If you don't want to get out, then at least just stay on the comms and get out of my vision.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I can be invisible and I can be quiet if you really want. But you know, I do a great Ave Maria. Like, I've been practicing it for like probably about 10 years now. Like,
Simon, how long have you been operating on the station?
I don't know. No, I couldn't have been. That's not right. Why is that not right? Surely I should know. I'm a machine. I don't get time wrong, do I? Do I? There's meant to be 4.4 billion people here.
So, 2B, having heard Simon having this sort of, essentially what it sounds to me like is a gap in their memory. 2B's immediately getting a vibe of somebody altered this, or somehow either at a hardware level or software level has somehow mucked with the memory. Is there a way to confirm that? Or...
That's the getting to the core and having a look at, like, and plugging directly in, and maybe looking at who was the last person to enter, etc., and like security footage and stuff.
Can I find a system access port in the loading bay of the station, or will I have to go deeper in?
You'd have to go deeper in. Probably,
Shoot.
if Simon is important as they say they are, you're looking for the bridge,
Okay.
which
Can
will not be
I-
accessible via mech. You will need to get out of your mech once you find it.
That's my
The
next
corridors, the corridors are built for mechs because of the fact that this is so big and it's supposed to have so many people on it. So like for ease of transport and stuff. However, there are human portions and there's like almost like glass domed walkways to protect them from like mechs feet and stuff. Some of them, as you notice as you go in, are already broken.
Broken as in from the outside in? Like,
Yes, outside in with
Right.
blood on the outside.
That's concerning, to put it mildly.
Can we scan the blood? Figure out if it's human?
Systems.
That
Oh.
is 1 all in all, not natural. I'm rolling amazingly, dude.
It's human. It's human blood. There is enough though, based on what's outside.
For
To, like-
4.4 billion people.
That's a lot.
For about 50.
Okay. That's still a lot.
Not better, yeah.
Yeah, if it's the full amount of blood for all of those people, that's a lot.
But it's
Or
only
it's a
like
little bit of blood from a lot more people.
yeah, like there's about 50 full humans of blood there in that
Great
one.
measurement.
I hate
Yeah.
these new
I like
units
that
of measurements
measurement,
we've
yeah.
invented. This is awful.
Yeah.
Can I get like liters?
Like there are 50 full humans worth of blood in
Jeez.
that thing.
Can I get on a private or like a non-group comms with Simon?
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna say, hey, but I just want to put this on your radar. I think someone messed with your memory banks.
Oh, that's probably for certain. Like you don't want
Oh.
people knowing what we did here.
Okay, and the second thing is, can I get a soft, private sort of rendition of that Ave Maria, and then I'll go back on public comms.
Ave Maria. Like it's not as good as he thinks it is, but it's kind of. it's
Simon
so-
doesn't know it happened, but he knows it was naughty.
Yeah, you get the feeling that like he knows why he's here, but he doesn't know what was here. Like
Yeah.
I am here because what we're doing is bad. I don't know what we're doing though. Like
Simon, can you direct me towards the bridge?
oh yeah, sure. And then you see like almost like video game like
Good. Mini map acquired. Let's go.
Yeah. So you-
guys,
uncoupling the sarcophagi.
yeah, I was gonna suggest that. Guys, I think we might want to leave the sarcophagi behind until we're certain of what we find, because the blood here doesn't look promising, and we can always come back.
Just to
Agreed.
make you aware, the only blood that you can see, like there's none on the walkways.
Mm-hmm.
It is only on the outside bits.
Yeah.
Oh bueno there. I want to get in there, get whatever the hell we can pick up, and get out. I don't want to be running back and forth like a kindergartner in school.
You a
Hey,
bit
that's your
curious what's going on?
Curiosity. Aren't there
You
some
would,
sayings about that?
you all would start also hearing faintly because you've got Simon and because you're on the station.
I'm also worried about that.
Like you hear the crying, and you
Can I
also
try to trace that signal to where it's coming from?
Mm-hmm. System. +3 because it's so
+3?
faint.
I can do
Yeah.
that. That's a 15 total.
It is coming from the top where you're heading to get the
Uh-oh.
the terraformer.
Can I contact it, or is it isolated or some sort?
You can. It seems to be two-way. But you're
Before
not
I do
sure.
that, I'm going to say everyone is getting this faint crying channel, right?
Wake up!
Unfortunately.
Wake up!
Sounds
I'm
like
going to
some kid
vote
with
we
dead
leave that
parents.
alone.
Wait, leave it alone?
Hey,
I
we
don't-
were told if
That
there
sounds
were
great.
survivors, we have to grab them.
Well,
They won't be
Yeah.
survivors for much long.
What are you implying?
well, they're gonna die sooner or later, and therefore they're not technically a survivor.
If that is some sort of survivor, whatever happened here happened recently enough that they survived it, or they are something that could have survived whatever happened here for an extended period of time. I don't think we want to interact with it either way.
Or they
We were
hid.
given clear orders that there is
Well-
an SOS and we are here to pick up survivors and get loot. One of those
Well-
things is survivors.
George did say that whatever happens out here stays out here. So I don't think it's like directly an order, but I personally am of the opinion that we should at least investigate it.
I'll let one of you make the call here.
Why aren't you waking up?
I'll follow y'all. So whatever you decide, but
You want to radio it in, Ground Zero?
I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, we're gonna check that thing out. And if it's a survivor, we're taking it.
Alrighty.
What they said.
Let's head towards the bridge then.
You start heading towards the bridge. As you make your way to the bridge, that is going. You get there fine. None of the things that you're looking for seem to be on the route. So you're looking for the terraformer, the geographic like fabricator, the you're now looking for Simon, and you're looking for the black zone generator. You would find probably the black zone generator and the Simon in the bridge, or you would at least find the locations of all four objects on the bridge, because there'd be like a manifest of like system diagnostic and stuff. So as you guys get out of your mechs, you is everybody getting out of their mech, or only one, two? How many are getting out of their mechs to get
Do
out
we
of the
have
bridge?
to?
Yeah, how far can we sustain being in mech?
Until pretty much the door.
Okay, then, I mean, we should.
I'm staying in my mech as long as I can.
Do you want to like watch the door?
Yeah, I'll stay
For
watching
us?
the door as well.
Okay,
Okay,
Ground
so
Zero
that's-
and I go in.
Yep.
Okay, but it's gonna take me a hot minute to get out of this thing, and they start detracting. Like, so when we were like suiting up to get in, where everyone else was like putting on helmets and gloves and stuff, they were literally like attaching themselves to the mech. So
You're
there's,
like
cables-
matrixed in, is what I'm imagining.
There's
like-
cables into the back of the neck and stuff, so they're having to like pull those out and stuff to get out.
As you both of you descend, a blue like figure appears next to you as Simon projects themselves from like multiple like points. You see like the arcs of light, like, I've not been up here for a while. Why not? Strange. Yeah?
Why not?
Why not?
I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't be here. Like, but I've got friends now, so I'll follow them, and they'll be fine. Nothing bad will happen while you two are here, right?
I'll just look at Ground Zero and go, is that us?
Yeah, I hate that.
Oh,
Not a fan. Does Simon count as a survivor?
I think so. I mean, technically, yeah.
Simon does, but we
I
should
was-
grab.
I was never really alive, so there's nothing really for me to survive. However,
You're alive enough to be saved.
oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Like,
Hey, guys.
Because it's expensive.
Hey, Jack, you need to remember who you're talking to and who the two people are currently in this room.
so as you
Yeah.
guys get to, you're not in yet. You get to the door, right? You get to the door. It like scans you. It opens up. You guys head in. Okay. As you go in, you see empty, sparkling clean bridge. It is almost like this place has never been used.
Can I scan it for any sorts of signs of various things?
Nope. You can see that there's
Oh.
been nothing. There's been like, you can go into the terminals. It will require some system checks to use the terminals.
Okay.
And because none of you are Neos, it would be a +1
Okay.
because of the security.
Can I go ahead and try to jack into the bridge here, though?
Mhm.
Cool. I'll just pull like a long cable out of one robotic arm and plug it into the terminal.
Blue is ground zero doing anything?
I think I'm just gonna scope the room because if break is going to be the one jacking in, then they're just going to make sure that there's nothing actually here.
Okay, can I have a systems roll from both of you, please?
Alrighty. That's a 2.
2 is you get in.
Got a 5.
Nice.
You got 5. So as you're
Robot
loading in,
team.
Hen,
Yeah.
like you load in, you find like a complete map of the station. It lights up with your objectives. Like
Perfect.
2 of them are in the habitat up the top. It is literally called the habitat. Which is the geographic fabricator and the terraformer. The Simon is just underneath that. Simon's core memory is just underneath that, and the generator is actually in the it's in the bridge, but you'd have to take some consoles apart to find the generator. However, before we cut to break, in almost like anime-esque fashion, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure-esque fashion, Ground Zero, you're like basically patrolling like a weapon in hand, just like looking around, and you think you see a shadow, and you're like across the bridge like screen, and you turn around, there's nothing there, and then it happens again, and you're like, and then again, but this time the shadow stays. And as you turn round, 2 enormous blue human eyes and a giant human face that covers the entirety of the viewing screen window is staring at you, jaw wide, hundreds upon hundreds of like just white square teeth for pounding and grinding things down. Is like, and it's beginning to wind its fist back as it looks to the 2 of you, and that's where we are going to take our 10-minute bio break for Mecha Hack Everything But the Dark. Thank you very much for being with us so far. We're going to hand over to our producer. They're going to take us away, come back and see if these guys survive the Space Titans. Welcome back to our game of the Mecha Hack Everything But the Dark. We have just come back from our exciting mid-season finale. No, I'm joking. Of basically our intrepid adventurers, scavengers have come across this station. They've made their way inside, and they've met not just a interesting AI in the form of Simon, an androgynous AI that can change its form and is kind of guiding them, but is obviously broken. But they've also just made it to the bridge and met something that is now trying to punch their way inside the bridge to get to the 2 of them. 2 giant blue humanoid eyes like staring in, more of like I said, like brick-like teeth, just built for grinding and pounding down whatever it ends up in its mouth. And it's just like, and that's where we pick off as technically Breaking Free is downloading information and is not seeing this. It is just Ground Zero. As you're watching as this thing is winding up its fist and about to punch in, I'm going to give you one thing, and then we will all roll initiative, and we will you get one reaction, and then we will all roll initiative and play it almost like a combat.
In which case, Ground Zero immediately turns round, shouts, breaking, and then dives and is gonna basically rugby tackle them back towards the door.
Roll power, please.
Do we all hear that, or is it just
it's just them because they're yelling to each other. They're running to each other in the room.
Oh yeah, they're outside of their mechs.
Yeah.
We don't have comm.
Wait,
That's
don't they have comms
scary.
outside of the mechs?
They
Wear
do.
a headset, guys.
They do have comms outside their mechs, but they're shouting at each other. Like it's like you would. It's like a codec. Like they can't hear everything that Solid Snake says. Like
Right.
That's
Oh.
20.
Oh no.
It
you
was really nice knowing you all.
you instead of like barreling them into the door in your panic, seeing this thing and watching as like the darkness of its fist against like the back wall as it's like exposed some of the light is coming closer. You just crack breaking in the stomach. Their like robotic form is just like and it falls backwards, almost like me out of my chair just then. And you two are both
my own strength.
prone on the ground as this thing, and you feel the whole space station like rattle as this thing hits against the glass, and you see like the breaking of the glass and the spidering of the cracks as this thing goes to pull its. Yes, you can hear like that. You feel something hit the side of the station with like ridiculous force, and then it comes to roll back. Okay, so I need everybody to roll initiative. If it can be mobility or systems, whichever's higher. If you succeed, you go before the enemy, and if you fail, you go after the enemy.
Yep.
And you can decide which order you go in every round.
I succeed, but barely.
Although we're prone, I'm going to be over the top of...
You would be naturally like on top of them.
I succeeded as well.
Okay, so that's 3.
Let's go team.
So 3, 0. Did you pass, Ollie, as well?
Yes, I did.
So
I got
all of you go before the enemy. So for those of you outside, for those of you outside, Simon kind of says something really weird, and he goes, Squire Benjamin. Like, and then like you feel the, and then you get to decide which order you go in. Who wants to go first?
I suggest the people outside, in the mech still, go first so that we can get you guys into your mechs.
Yeah.
What can we do from out here, though?
Get in here!
No, the door's too small, no? So I'm thinking I put my arm in to get you guys out of there.
That would be a use action. Remember, you get 2 actions. It could be a use, a move, an attack. You can do the same thing twice, but you'd have to roll reactor.
Right. Jack, do you want to go first? And then I'll go after.
Jack is in a bit of a conundrum.
Okay.
Because the only way Jack actually knows what's going on is through her scanners. So she is currently pounding on her monitor, kind of shaking a thing in the background. I'm gonna try to get this thing to appear so that I know what it is or where it is.
Roll system, that would be a use action.
Sure. That is a success.
So even though you succeed, nothing appears on your scanner. But there is like some sort of like blob. Like it's like you can see ground 0 and breaking 3 like on the floor, like as like a heat signature or something, however that appears to you. And then there's something like a big wall of black, of darkness in outside the space station, like at the window, that you can't see or hear or whatever.
Okay, because everything like this is transmitted to me like via basically a text-to-speech.
Yeah. So unidentifiable presence, 2 presence, 2 AI presence is what you get.
So I don't know where it is. I don't know anything.
You don't know where it is, or you kind of know its general direction, that it's behind them, but you don't know if it's outside or inside, and you don't know how big it is or what it is. Like, you just know there is something there, and it might not be friendly, and if it can hit with the power to hit this space station and knock it a little bit, like
kind of big.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna position myself as to help them if they need it. I'm gonna, like, stretch a hand in so that they have something to grab onto.
That would be another use action.
Okay, I
will
can
need
do that.
you to roll reactor for me, please.
Okay.
Because if you do the same thing twice, you need to roll reactor, because it's almost like you push yourself to do more than you should be able to.
You could move alternatively. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will abstain then, I think.
Okay, so you're by the door, like trying to get a bead.
I think it's worth the reactor to get him in. Because then
I have a pretty low
turns
reactor.
over. Their
Oh,
turn's
no.
over. They called their turn. Like, I
Yeah.
will say I'm strict on that sort of thing. If you call your turn,
Yeah, definitely. I'm
Cool.
entirely fine with it.
so then it's
Okay.
you agreed that 2B next, right?
Cool. So yeah, 2B was listening to a pleasant rendition of Ave Maria, and then Simon suddenly waited out, and then there was a big shaking. So he's gonna look around and try and identify the source of it. And I'm guessing that the shaking is from a direction.
Yeah,
So-
no, it's from the bridge side.
Yeah.
Like you know exactly where it's coming from. There's no like thing.
So
like,
I'm gonna try and like bend over and look inside and try and like see if I can see what's happening.
you can see the giant like has pulled back its fist and is going to hit again against it, and it is a giant naked person just
boy.
there like trying to hit this thing to get to the two people in the two people inside.
Can I see, are they within arm's reach of my mech?
Yes, they are.
Can I grab both of them, or is it only one? How many could fit in my palm?
Two. It's also a careful thing you're going to need to do because you
Don't
can
crush
squash
us.
them. Yeah, so it would be, I would say, a use mobility test.
Yes, mobility's my good stat.
Okay.
Thank God.
And I succeed. With a
Okay.
14
so you-
beating a 17.
14 beating 17.
So I'm gonna.
That's still
reach...
pretty close. Hang on.
Oh
I'm trying
no!
to think whether I should. That's 40. That's only 3 away, and trying to pick up 2 people gently.
Ooh. You didn't
Right.
say add any difficulty though. so
No,
I-
but I'm trying to be like, you know what? I'm gonna allow it because I didn't specify
Yay.
beforehand. So
Good
I'll allow it.
DM.
You get both.
All right. I grab both of you, and I will scoop you out and try and get you towards your mechs.
If you would like to get them in them, it'll be another use action, and you'll have to take the reactor penalty.
Okay, I'll just get him out because my reactor is at
Yeah, don't run it.
the minimum.
Okay,
So I'll just
so
get you guys out and into the space where you can then get
So
yourself
that's-
into your mech.
0 and 3. Who wants to go first?
Oh,
I know what I'm gonna do. You want to go?
Oh, Jay, sorry. If you got something
Yeah.
else you want to do?
And then am I close to where their mechs are right now? Or...
Yeah, you're close to them. You can like position them, but you can't put them in them.
Okay, and are my weapons like equipped? Because I was on point, so I imagine they are.
Yeah.
Okay,
Weapons
cool.
are free. You said weapons hot.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Okay, perfect then. Then I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah, I can go next.
Okay.
So, I mean, I figure I should, considering I'm the one who's like
On top.
bring. Yeah.
Off
so,
me.
yeah. So I'm just gonna into the comms just say battle stations, giant human thing, and then try and get into my mech.
Okay.
To all of us?
Yeah, all of you hear
that's
that?
on- Yeah,
Um,
that's on comms.
I'm gonna say to get to your mech because you are in a space with gravity, but he has positioned you near your mech. So I'll say you can get in straight away, but that will pretty much be your turn unless you want to move your mech. That'll be like your use action, unless you
Okay.
want to attack or move.
I mean, I'd be very tempted to attack. Yeah.
Go on then. So
Cool.
you roll, depending on what you're trying to hit them with. It is, well, I think most things are power. So it's make a power roll. As you like get your mech to duck down, I'm guessing you're going to use a ranged weapon.
If this breaks the glass, am I just?
It depends if
I haven't gone yet.
If it depends if Simon, because you're technically outside the bridge, but it depends if Simon decides to airlock the thing or not. Like, so yeah, because the void of space is continuous and very.
Hold me tightly
Simon's-
to be.
Simon says die.
Yeah.
Simon says.
So, Blue,
I'm afraid I can't
roll
let you do
power
that.
as you take shots at this. I would say with the glass, and because it's, I'd say +2, because of the fact that it's meant to withstand the void of space. Like, so it's strong, and this thing's hit it pretty hard and not broke it.
+2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not sure how the weapons work, but they say +2 as well. So
Is it a heavy weapon?
yeah.
Oh yeah, so yeah, you add 2 as well.
Then I fail.
You just like put your gun barrel in, and like because of the weird angle that you're trying to get, you like, poof, and you just wipe out the bridge pretty much. You don't actually hit the glass. You just
The
hit
systems.
yeah, like you
It's
wipe out the
collateral.
bridge.
Collateral.
And then that takes us to 3. What are you doing?
I've got a couple questions. Was I able to download the information in time?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then I'll just, if I can, quickly broadcast the map to everyone. I'll go ahead and try to hop in my mech too.
So that technically you're not in your mech, so it wouldn't cost a reactor die to use those 2 things because it'll be one than the other. Okay, cool. You're
Cool.
in.
And then do I have time after getting into mech to use an ability?
Does it count as a use action? Because you've
probably.
Yeah, so I'd say
Okay, so
no,
no.
because you've sent them the stuff, and then you've which would probably be like a use action to send it to them, and then you've got in your mech, which would be a use
Follow-up
use
question:
action.
did I see the thing before getting whisked away?
Not really. You just got told there's a giant human outside.
Then with my second action, I'm just gonna come on comms and go, "What is this? What is going on? What is that?"
Yeah, and then the kaijin goes. So
That's what it is.
Yeah. Bang, like, and you all kind of feel and Simon's like, oh, that's not good, like, oh dear. And he starts like tapping away at like you see his like little blue form trying to like close the door, but it won't close. He's like physically trying to close it. It's like, I think you broke something, like, as the kaijin is now going to use its move action to start crawling in the bridge that you've decimated. So there's now no real obstructions to it coming in.
Oh no! I thought that would add obstructions.
No, you've got rid of all the consoles and all the computers. You've like leveled it. Like it's hurting itself. You see it like as it like, because you're still there. You see it like as it like hits debris and like the hot, it burns itself, it cuts itself. Like it's not like completely impervious to damage, but it just doesn't seem to care as it's coming towards you. Like
Ground Zero, if we make it out of this, I'm sure your business in gun-based interior decorating will boom, but first we gotta kill it.
It'll definitely boom.
It is technically all your goes again, because it is at the door. Like it is trying to like, it's got Blue's gun barrel in its mouth, which will mean that you've got less of a penalty when it comes to it. So yes, who's going first?
I'd suggest Blue goes first because of the obvious advantage.
Shoot it.
Yeah.
Okay. Blue goes
That
first.
sounds like
Ground
a good
zeros.
call.
Roll power. You should technically be at disadvantage because you have close combat, but it is in its mouth, so I'm going to say straight roll.
Okay.
No added, just straight roll.
Oh, okay. In that case, that's 3.
3 plus the
Nice.
2 from your heavy weapon, so you still hit.
Yeah.
Roll damage die, please, because I need to know how much damage you do to it.
7 plus 2.
2, so 9. As you like blow this thing's jaw clean off, like the teeth like hit the side wall, and you just hear there's almost like debris hits the wall on one side as this jaw is dislocated at the bottom, but it's still coming. Its tongue like it's just lolloping at you as it is still there. But you do notice that its jaw seems to like, something seems to be growing out the side of its jaws, like as you need to finish this and you need to finish it quick. You get the feeling.
Regen.
Yeah. So, who's next?
I kind of want to try to frontline this, but I might be blocking people in that case. So
You've got Blue in you've got Ground Zero in the fray. I think if you're going to block anyone, everybody's blocking everyone at this point. It's a small door that this thing's trying to poke its head out of, but it's only got like its mouth, or like what was left of its mouth.
I still can't see it, or can I see it as a void?
You can see it now, kind of.
Okay.
You can see like the top jaw and the tongue like coming out.
Okay, so I'm gonna. So my systems are describing it as like a weird regenerative monster.
No, for you, it's still registering that nothing is there.
So I'm going to be calming the others.
Yeah.
The systems are malfunctioning. This is like a weird visual black zone.
Hit the black zone.
Get rid of it.
Just hit the darkness.
And I am going to try to shoot at it, I suppose.
Aim for the end of my gun.
You get +4 to power and
I'm assuming-
disadvantage.
Oh no.
I think there's only one number I can roll then to actually manage.
I need to see if you crit
Because I
fail.
also have a -2 to that, or +2 to that.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
Because you're
that's not
perfect.
happening.
What did you roll on the dice?
13.
Okay, you didn't 20. That's fine. So you just like with your submachine gun, if I remember rightly, when we chose later, you're just like spraying and praying, and you are just missing, and you kind of just hear your system describe Simon like, like trying to like not get hit by you.
These Titan-sized bullets tear apart the space station.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Jack is swearing loudly at com to all of y'all.
You do have a second. You have a second action that you can take. You can attack, use, whatever. You've taken one attack action. You can attack, use, move.
I'm assuming again I can't block for anyone, so there's no real point. I'm assuming blue is in the fray of getting actually hit.
Yep.
Yeah, no, then I'm not gonna do anything for now.
Okay, so that's 1 is gone. 2 and 3. Who's going first?
I'm heading up first.
Okay. You go. 3.
I can see its arm now? Or
You can see
it
its
now?
tongue, yeah, and like it's trying to get its arm out.
I'm gonna spend the whole first action just like staring at this thing like, what?
If you do that, and if you like are willing to sacrifice an action, I am willing to get Simon to lore dump on you a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so you take that use action, and Simon goes, "Oh, like, oh, you hurt him, poor Squire Benjamin. Like, that's not very nice. Like, I wonder what happened to him though. Like, he wasn't that big before. Like, and where did all his clothes go?"
Is that on?
And he does actually like bring up like Squire Benjamin's like medical record as someone who used to live on this base.
What is it? Is it a kid? Is it a human?
It's a human person. He is he was a squire for the Paladin of Curiosity that ran this base. He is designated as test subject 11.
Oh,
Interesting. Then I'll just shout to Simon, I don't think it's Benjamin anymore. And for my second action, I'm just gonna put a large mechanical arm onto 2B, and I'm gonna restore their reactor using my super reactor.
Roll
thank
reactor
you.
for me, please, buddy.
Yeah. And 2B, yours will just go up 1 die automatically.
Yeah.
So it goes from D4 to D6.
Yep.
Yes. Alrighty. It's an 8. Yes.
You're fine. You like and you hit you almost like
Oils
grab
on the
his-
back
yeah,
just start heating up.
like steaming as for him almost like you, and that takes us to 3. You're up. Breaking free.
No, I just
that's
went
breaking
me.
free.
2B.
Is that everyone? 2B. Yep.
Cool. I am going to choose to slash at this thing with my laser axe.
Yep. You can roll just normal because you're just
Okay.
gonna just try and hit basically like golf club swing into
Yeah.
the thing.
Okay. I rolled a 2, which
Yes.
I believe is a crit for me.
Yeah, because of
Yeah.
your chassis.
Yeah, I do. So I'm
So
gonna
you roll 2. You roll 2 damage dice.
So yeah, that is 12 damage.
Nice.
As you hit this thing square on in like the jaw, like
Yeah.
where the jaw is like reforming, and you catch it, and you just like keep going, like,
Yeah.
and your arm hits the wall,
Oof.
and you're just like, no, through the wall. You like take the entire wall out, and
Yes.
this thing's the top of this thing's head just is on your axe as you pull back out.
Oh,
And
beautiful.
you're like there, with it, it is dead. Because and you are lucky that it was trapped in that room.
Yes.
So you watch as this like mop of brown hair dush, 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 begins to like automatically like sludge up like and
In kind of like a panic, can I go try to like pick that up in my mech?
yeah, you like trying to pick up the body parts and nothing is really left.
No.
As it reveals like the same smaller body, like human-sized body, with the same damage.
Huh.
Like it almost like melts away to reveal like the actual form, and it is of a young naked man.
Does it appear back on the scanners?
Yes. And on your thing, like your thing says deceased human.
Just appeared.
Yep. Just from where that massive black thing was, now it's just whoop.
Jack just starts shooting it.
Jack is
You can
so
see it now, just,
Yeah.
What? Simon, what was that?
Oh, that was one of the Kaijin projects.
My vendetta allows me to roll with advantage when trying to deduce information about medical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is that applicable here? Can I try to
applicable
deduce
here. You can try and figure out how that just happened.
Well, I rolled a 20 and an 8, so I'll be taking the 8.
Yep. You have no idea, because that's not something you've ever heard of. Like, you don't know what the Kaijin project is. You have no idea what they were trying to do here, but that's not normal. People don't just go from small to giant or giant to small when they die. That's not okay. You suggest, and Simon's there like, oh, not another one.
Wait, Simon, it was regenerating somehow. How was it doing that?
Well, I guess like the material that we had and the variables and the splicing like gave it like those sort of properties.
Was that human inside that? Is that like a biomech?
I really want to tell you, I really do, because we're friends now, right? We're friends, but for some reason, like I know what that is. That's a Kaijin. Like I know those. I help with those. I just don't know what it is. Like I couldn't tell you. Like, you know, like this old thing. He like knocks on his head, and his head like dumps like file icons out of his ear. Like, and it's like I don't know, and it's just not
Simon,
happening. Yeah.
You can see it.
Yeah.
How can you see it?
Well, I have eyes. Like, unfortunately, like I know that's like really mean, and I don't mean it to be that way, but like,
Where's your eyes?
oh,
I'm gonna be scanning for cameras.
he has the. You can see cameras, like they ping up.
They're everywhere.
They're
Oh.
everywhere, but also as well, you get the feeling that like the vision, the little thing of him, also gives him like views of whatever you can see. Like you can see what your mech can see, like because he's now implanted. Like his little avatar body gives you that, gives him something.
Can I offer Jack some sort of picture-in-picture sensory data of somehow converting what I'm seeing in my mech into some sort of data they can perceive?
Yeah, I was considering either hacking into one of your guys' mech, or hacking into Simon.
Yeah.
So, Simon will give you the image if you'd like.
Okay.
Yeah, like the translation of the image.
Yeah, he translates the image to you, and it is a giant version of a handsome-looking like young knight.
It's more proactive for the next time we bump into one of these.
It's like a giant version of him, but naked. He gives you like a translation of it of what he used to look like, and then he shows you like what it looked like after the Kaijin transformation, and then it showed you what happened after it died, and like the melting black sludge that is now like steaming and like eating through the metal. Like you get the feeling that if this has got on your mech, bad things would happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Also as well,
melee.
also as well, the rest of its body is inside the bridge, and that's where the black zone generator is.
I was about to ask, with the bridge effectively destroyed, is the black zone generator still going?
It's still going, but it'll be hard to harvest it because
Shoot.
it's like underneath. It's not in like the consoles. It's like underneath the. It's kind of like in the service bit, like when you do like cabling, like it's there, and it's on the bridge to maintain it, so it's easier to maintain.
We
But
can teamwork it, I'm sure.
Basically, I could if there is one of those in the future,
You would know what it looks like. You wouldn't be able to pinpoint it though.
I wouldn't be able to figure out where it is still.
Unless you like uplink with Simon.
That was what I was thinking.
We'll get to that if you choose
Okay.
to do it in a combat. We'll get to that.
Could I ask Simon if the person inside, are they dead or like are they in control? Are they aware? Are they choosing to attack?
He like taps on his head again and more files fall out. He's like, I don't know. They're kaijins. It's just a thing.
I think we have a new mission parameter. We should find out what's going on here.
Yep. Do you want any help? Because I can't recover I can't do anything with the black zone generator, but I think you can. And
It would have to be
on standby
people.
to- Yeah.
Like because you have carved into the wall, but it would still be hard to get your mech in it because you'd basically be like in the other floor above it as well. It's almost like you've carved into the side of the apartment building. So like the bridge, then whatever's above, then whatever's above.
What I'm trying to do is get my mech near the entrance to wherever the person would need to go to get the black zone thing, just so I'm ready to get them out again. Like,
Oh yeah, you just be by the bridge then.
Yeah,
Fair.
I
that's
can
fine.
go.
Ground Zero and I don't need oxygen. We can.
Oh yeah, that's actually fair.
You have got like space suits, so I will say you
Okay.
can maneuver in like space. It's just that the sudden shock of it, if it had broke through and you were still in there, would pull you out.
Yeah.
It is going to be difficult because you are going to have to come into contact with this substance.
I don't mind that.
Me
Okay.
neither, honestly.
Okay.
Quite intrigued.
If that's what you want to do. Right. So you two.
Oh no, that's not a good DM sound.
Yeah, what? No.
Well, it's eating through metal. Like the
Okay.
black sludge is eating through metal. Like
Good. That's fine.
people aren't as armored.
Yeah, that's
Like,
fine.
so you.
It was just like whether it's gonna symbiote this.
No.
Yeah.
I think it's
You-
more that they might lose limbs, so just avoid the goop.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
two.
You can replace them.
I'll try to avoid the
Easy.
goop as best as I can.
Okay, so it is intensely hot as soon as you exit your mechs, where this black sludge is. It is like your systems are like whatever's happening to this, like the chemical reaction that's happening. You do notice that there is a lot of magnesium like involved in this outer body, which understandably might be causing that heat. There's a lot of like chemical reactions happening to like dissolve it, almost like I would say Hen with your medical thing, and like I won't make you roll for it. Like this is purposeful. Like
Yeah.
it is designed to
Designed.
destroy the body after it's been defeated, so that
That's
nobody
not
can
gonna be
replicate the
helpful.
process, or maybe not. They can't if they don't get there quick enough.
That's probably
Like-
why they can't be scanned either. Or could be a reason why they would implement something like that.
Yeah. Let's take a crack at this black field generator.
So the
Yeah.
black field generator is like under a panel on the floor that you can see is being slowly eaten away. It is a more armored section because obviously the importance of the generator. You can try and pry it open, but there will be a thing of having to dam off the gunge to stop it from leaking into the floor and destroying the generator. And there is the thing of like, how are you going to get it out? Like, so
Here's a question, team. The black field generator could be very helpful. It could be very lucrative. It is causing a problem though, and I think what we've just stumbled across could be worth infinitely more. If we just let the black field generator die, we can radio back to the ship and maybe get some backup here or something like that.
We could also just turn it off. Could we not?
yeah, that is an
I'm
option.
just thinking we'd let the sludge eat it, and it can't power through that probably.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, my main thinking was around turning it off so we can come back. But if you think
Yeah.
that it being melted will fix that, then I don't think it's worth the risk to us. Because I think we need to communicate what we found back.
So yeah,
I'm just gonna watch the ooze eat this thing.
Yeah, so you watch the ooze like slowly, and you see that the black field generates like this black and purple cube that gets exposed, and you can see like the same, like a mini version of the same field like around this black cube, and like some like almost like reverse megaphones like seem to be keeping it in place, like hovering, and you just watch those as one of those megaphones like gets melted, like the field like the orb, like the cuboid moves and then starts like shearing off the rest of the things by itself, like spinning out of control, and then you think it's about to launch itself, just like a tsunami of and you hear like, hey guys, we have a problem, like as you hear over the comms as Kid 1 is trying to like radio you for help.
Oh no!
Wait,
Oh, no.
they need help?
Buzzard, come in! Buzzard!
Get him off me!
He is going to start charging towards wherever he thinks he can get back to the buzzard from.
That would be
move to the
Oh,
loading
no.
dock.
Yeah, you'd have to move back to loading dock. Like, you hear like, we're like, I don't know what this thing is. Get it off me! Like, and you hear as she like tries to flip it off, and you can like see this hen as your like character looks out through the opening in the. You see like the buzzard like trying, and there's like 3 of these things like
3?
yeah, like one seems to have parts of Mecha like attached to it, like Mecha shoulder pads and Mecha weapon bags and stuff like that on it, like trying to like, and it's like got an energy saber. It's like you see one of them like open its mouth and missiles just barrage out like.
Oh geez.
Like,
It's a Digimon.
Can I radio back? Guys, don't let it get. You can't really avoid it, but don't let the goop get on you. It melts through metal.
I know, and you see like
okay,
it's
cool.
like smoking, like even though there's like it's space, like the same like anime logic applies that like
Yeah.
physics sometimes exists and sometimes doesn't, and there's like smoke coming off the buzzard as like you see one of these, like the one that's just like fired loads of missiles down on it, like has like a, and you see like 2 mini mechs get out of like the thing as the twins have like obviously launched, and they're like trying to like fight these things off. They're like, we're a bit busy here. Can you like hurry up? Like I can't. Like, and you hear like as the girl's like being like pinned to the buzzard. You can obviously see it because you can like, I'm guessing with your robot eyes you can like zoom. And, like,
Yeah,
she's like whoosh, like by one of these things as it's like trying to get her, and like you don't know what the hell's going on, but there were 4.4 billion people on this thing, and one of those things is kind of scary.
Can I do some sort of mobility check to like launch up there or something? I don't know.
It's going to be you're going to take a long time.
I don't think we can get back to the buzzard.
The buzzard, to get back to the buzzard is going to be a long time, because you remember you're going to be fighting off the gravity from the space station as well. You use the gravity to drop in. To get out, to escape the gravity, you're going to have to reach like terminal velocity, and like it's going to take a while.
Do these stations usually have like some sort of slingshot system like what we had?
Yes, they do, and it would be in the loading bay, but you know that the loading bay has some structural integrity issues with the doors.
Right.
I'm gonna,
So
if
you
I can.
We can fix doors, I think.
It depends if what happened with the framing, because usually the slingshot system's built in like with the doors and everything, so like as like a safety mechanism, so you don't like launch into the doors.
Mm.
I'm just gonna radio to the buzzard, like, get out if you can, just get out.
Yeah.
Abandon ship.
You see like, I'm not leaving this damn ship. I've put too much money into it. Like,
That's fair.
like you see her like, and you see her like shake them off, and she begins like maneuvers, which I say maneuvers, like it is like it's clumsy and clunky, a bit like the Falcon isn't like that acrobatic. It looks it, but actually it's not in comparison to like other ships. And So yeah, like these things are like chasing and propelling themselves through their sheer might, like almost like swimming, like as they like are chasing the buzzard, and like the twins are like trying to fight them off. You are in the dark.
Whatever we are doing here, we need to move faster.
I'm gonna try to get back to my mech.
You get back, it's easy, there's no like issues, you've got no scanning coming through.
I'll do the same.
But you've got like, you know where everything is now. You know that Simon's is below the habitat, and the two things you're looking for are in the habitat. Did you try and radio back to the crying person? Because the crying person is in the habitat.
Okay.
Now that you know what the top of the thing's called, you would know that the crying person is in the habitat.
I never radio back, but
I'll let you have that for free then.
okay, sweet. Simon, first and foremost, can you airlock the bridge so that we don't have to worry about that anymore? And additionally, can you tell me, you mentioned some sort of these flesh monsters.
Kaiju,
They came from somewhere on the station, correct?
They came from the station.
Where is there a workshop? Where would those have been assembled?
Probably in the habitat. It's the only place big enough
Habitat.
for them, and like the habitat was built for testing them. That's why there's lots of different environments.
Okay, well, we need to get to the habitat. We need to get there fast.
Can you see if there's any of them in there now?
I can try, and you see him like kind of like a screen in front of him, and it's just. But you can hear like the fact that he can't see, but you can hear. Just move, wake up! Don't leave me here.
Yikes.
Oh, there's definitely something in there.
Ground Zero, you said it yourself. We need to protect the survivors.
Yep. I advise going in locked and loaded.
I think that's safe to say. Can we all head towards there?
Absolutely.
The Simon is below the habitat in like the Paladin's quarters, and the Paladin Curiosity's personal workshop.
We're gonna hit Simon first, probably then.
Yeah,
before
you
the
will hit
habitat?
Simon before the habitat.
Okay.
Like
So we'll move that
his
way.
workshop, and his like he's almost got like an entire floor devoted to him. This Paladin has like an entire floor devoted to himself. His own workshop, like his docking bays up there. Like he's pretty a bit of a bastard, I guess. Like we don't know what's happening.
Self-righteous.
Yeah, there is a school up there as well, like a university and a school.
Oh.
That's labeled on there now that you have the map, so you can also check that out as well. So do you want to go straight to the habitat, or do you want to hit up the Simon first?
I figure we'll hit Simon first on the way, right?
Mhm.
Team?
Works for me.
I'm gonna ask Simon something if possible.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know of a way to deactivate these things?
You know, there's something to that.
There is?
Yeah, maybe deactivation. Why is that important? Why do I keep?
It's kill switches there.
And he like keeps hitting his head, and more files fall out, and like he's just like issues. There was an issue. What was the flaw? What did we not do properly? And he's like thinking really hard about it. But he can't make it out for you. He just goes, I'm really sorry. Like, I know I'm useless and I'm a really bad friend. Like, I'm really trying to be like, you've seen who I've been hanging out with. Like, Squire Benjamin was no fun anymore. Like, he just kind of roamed around outside and ate things.
I have an idea. Can I somehow convince Simon that I'm actually the paladin? Like, that was partially in charge of the base or whatever?
That's going to require an enormous presence roll.
Okay. Can I just try?
You can try. I'm going to say disadvantage and +4.
+4 and
Yeah.
disadvantage.
You would have to nat 1.
Yeah.
Twice.
Twice, true.
Oh no. The disadvantage ruins it.
Sorry. Yeah. He just like looks at you and he's like, are you okay? Like, do Do you need help? Like, I can administer a sedative if you'd like.
He's not okay, Simon.
I'm just doing impressions.
Oh, okay. I do those sometimes as well. Have you
Yeah, I
heard
heard
like?
you tell a novella.
Yeah. What? Like, she didn't understand that like love is like bestial. It conquers all. It devours everything. Like that's
Breaking
what
is
It's
taking
not
the
something you have
deepest-
with your aunt.
Breaking is taking the deepest robotic sigh they can manage without lungs.
she was only his aunt by marriage. Like it's fine. Like okay, like this bestial
creepy,
you devour and you do anything for love. I remember
I'm gonna
that.
start pushing 2B's mech towards the habitat.
That's why we did what we did. Love was the reason we did what we did.
I mean, 2B is definitely on the way to. I thought we were going Simon first. And
Yeah.
Then, yeah. So 2B is definitely still making their way. It's just
All right.
Yeah.
get
So-
information while doing so.
Drag you along if I have to.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not entirely sure that is what love's meant to be like. I'll be honest.
But like in the form of like curiosity and hope, and it drives you to be better, and to be better you have to devour, you have to survive, you have to adapt and evolve and overcome, and that's what love does to you. It makes you stronger, and you do things that you would usually question. It's not his voice anymore. Like
Is that-
he's replaying you a recording.
Oh dear.
He's warping.
Like, and I know people will judge me. I know they will judge me, and it's like calm.
It's a distinctly different like voice pattern.
It's distinctly different.
Can I
Almost
try
like-
to? How much of the information was I able to get from the bridge? Can I try to cross-check that with like medical records on the bridge?
Mhm.
Okay.
And they're gonna judge me, but she's
Got a 2.
worth it. This is the sound of the Paladin of Curiosity, who is also called Simon.
Ooh.
But it sounds different than what Simon sounds like.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the person Simon, not the AI Simon.
I spent some time looking over the code earlier.
Mhm.
Can I check the code again? Has something changed, or is it like is this more of a
I'd say
broadcast
with
than the AI?
it's more like being exposed to the kaijin has like triggered something, like almost like
Ah.
a justification, like an excuse. Like you almost see like a prompt in the code that's like excuse, like and it
If
and it
someone's
plays
judging
this.
my work, then
Yeah.
repeat
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, and Simon goes, "Oh, that was weird. That was really weird. Who was that?"
I think that was Simon.
It's Simon Surf, by the way. SERPH.
I think that was the Simon. Simon
yeah.
Surf.
Yeah. But I'm Simon. There is no other Simons. Don't be silly.
How far are we from Simon's like core?
About I'd say you were dashing, so I'd say like because you're trying to get there quickly. I would say like about 20 minutes because you're in mechs in space. Like let's not like be beholden to space and time. Like so you're like trying to get to like Simon. You have to like take lifts and stuff and like navigate weirdly through some of the things, and then you have to like if you to get to certain places you have to like some of you have to get out your mechs, do things like and so that the mechs can get up there. It's difficult, but you get there, and Simon's like kind of quiet after you say that for a while, like that there's another Simon. Like he's like sad.
On another topic,
Mhm.
how would you feel about joining us, Simon?
Well,
We're
I don't
good
know if-
friends, right, Simon? Yeah.
We're friends, but I don't know if I can leave here. I don't think I can leave her.
You can bring her along too.
Who is
More
her?
the merrier.
No, wait. Who is her?
I don't know.
Wait, what?
I don't know. Like, I just can't leave her.
Simon, if I give you an audio clip. Can you identify it for me?
Mhm.
Can I play back the recording of the sound of the child crying?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna play that for Simon and goes, is that her?
Crybaby. Crybaby.
It's
And
kind
you
of
actually see
crybaby,
him start to cry. Like,
Oh.
crybaby. Crybaby.
I don't know how to. I'm not programmed to deal with this.
Like he's like having a visceral reaction. Like he looks like he's gonna like he starts like vomiting like in like pixels. Like he's going through a trauma response.
Breaking free. I've never seen this in an AI.
Who's Crybaby?
Beats me.
Crybaby. Like he's like freaking out as you get outside the paladin's thing, and he suddenly snaps back, and he's like, "We're here."
Okay. Great.
Doesn't
Alright.
sound good.
Maybe you should wait out here, Simon.
But what if something happens? What if one of those kaijin come back?
We'll call for you. Don't worry.
Okay. I'll wait here then.
Why don't
Hey.
we head in there, team?
Yeah, sure. Just one more question. Simon, was it Squire Benjamin? You said that was experiment number 6?
11.
11. Right. And how many were there?
4.4 billion. Well, 3.9. No, 3.3. No.
All of
Billion.
the people.
And
Apart from one.
how many were successful?
None.
Great.
How many
Okay.
achieved
What do you-
transformation?
What do you determine as successful? Transformation. Younger subjects were more susceptible. I think
Like
all of them
Crybaby.
achieved. I think all of them achieved transformation. Maybe.
Transformation without termination of the subject.
Hmm.
Oh, I don't know anymore. Like, I lost count.
As long as we don't have to fight off 4.39 repeating of these things, billion.
Oh, it is entirely a possibility, it seems. Minus, of course, the ones wrecking our ship.
Well, it was
Let's-
only 3.
That was only 3. And they seemed pretty equipped.
Well,
Yeah, and you do notice that there's like, you can take the time, but you're at his workshop and his quarters. You can go through his stuff, see if you can find more information.
I'm assuming our mechs can't come in with us.
No, it is
Okay.
person.
I'm gonna get in then. I'm gonna hop out and get in.
I'm gonna hop out, but I'm gonna bring Buddy. Like, my little
Yeah.
bot.
As Jay, you going with them?
I think it's worth at least staying out on point again. I don't have
Mhm.
systems either, so I think it makes sense for me to just stay out, be on point.
You guys head to the door and you like look at it, and it's like this golden ornate door, like not a scratch on it, beautiful presented. You go to like scan it, open it, it won't open. Vroom.
Simon, can you open this door?
Do you want me to come out?
Sure.
He like comes out with you, and Simon isn't Simon. He is dressed in armor. He has a cape. He has like glasses, and he like taps in, boop, and like it goes, "Welcome, Simon Surf. Sir Simon Surf, welcome." And he like walks in.
Sorry, when you say Simon comes out, like, what does that mean? Is that like a hologram or?
The hologram version of Simon,
Okay.
and that blue thing.
Okay.
Like he has detailed the armor to be the same like gold and orange. You know that
Understood.
like paladins of the Neos Dominion, there are only like 7 paladins, and they all reflect a knightly virtue, and curiosity is not one, and neither is hope, and he gets referred to as both.
Interesting.
And he's like in the armor, he's got like the white cape on, but he's still blue underneath, and he's got like the glasses and like the hair. He's like, "Doof, doof, doof." And he like walks in. He's like, I think you're fine. Like he's not changed or anything. It's just his appearance for some reason has reacted this way. Like he's like, I think this should be enough.
Okay. Let's tentatively move in.
As you do, like another hologram appears of like the actual Simon. Like, let's start from the beginning. Log 15, day 363. Simon is doing his best to round up the subjects. However, we are unable to fully contain them to the habitat anymore. I'm going to go and see if my new system will work. And she will probably be the best for it. So, if you're seeing this, I'm dead, probably. Sorry. At least we're in the vein, right? Like, they can't get out. Icarus, Pandora, like, I'm sorry. Like, I just... Love made me crazy. Simon, open the doors. Prepare my mech. We're heading to the habitat. Cuts out.
I love that he just started listing like other like people like Icarus, Pandora, just like down a list.
Yeah, like just I messed up. Sorry. Like,
Mea culpa, guys.
Can I find whatever that is stored in?
there's like a big computer. You get the feeling that he's like knocked through into his There is a kaijin strapped to a giant table in the room, and it seems to be like have like something on its temples. And every time it wakes up, you hear and it like goes limp again.
Well, we found the off switch.
It's not dead,
But it does get disabled.
Mm-hmm. Anyone who got tasered to the temple would probably get disabled.
That's fair. I don't want to test it, but yeah.
But yeah, there is a giant kaijin table just there. It's not as big as the one that you just fought. It's like a little smaller. It does have like prepubescent features.
Oh.
Male or female?
Indistinguishable. The squire has at least given it like dignity and like covered it up.
Let's just find what we're here for, right? Is Simon integrated to the system, or can I theoretically extract him from the ship?
I'm gonna try helping, by the way.
You're gonna you could you can pull him out. You see like a glowing like orb, like on top of like all the medical instruments and stuff that seems to be keeping everything. As Simon gets, and it's like every time Simon does something, because he like goes to places and he like almost like interacts a routine, and he like starts like taking numbers from that the small I'm not gonna call it a space titan, the small like kaijin. It is subject number 2,225,000.
I'm also going to suggest that we maybe want to put the kaijin out of their misery before we depart, because being constantly tased when you have no consciousness also seems like not great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like we can recover them.
I'm going to vote we do that when we leave, so we don't burn this place to the ground.
Yeah, agreed. Just wanted to make sure I got it out there. My vendetta compels me to try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah,
with this.
you are like in full like trying to take everything in, absorb everything. Like
just scouring the
Yeah.
kaijin, trying to figure out how it simulates its flesh, etc.
So you would easily find this information. Like it's using when the Aeon Primacy attacked, they opened these things called Beryllium tunnels, which are like basically like teleportation gateways that naturally occur all throughout Lodestone Alpha. It's one of the reasons why the Aeons are able to quickly, like almost like guerrilla warfare planets. But that did open some sort of breach, like the kaiju, which are the big monsters. Tentacle, like bestial, like they would be in a real problem, because basically what the Aeons would do they'd send them in first. They'd like rile them up, send them in, and then the Aeons would decimate the survivors. So this paladin's idea was like, why not just get people to fight back? Like, surely people would have a better response time if it's their own body. Like, there's not all the need for high-end tech to build a mechas. It's like a massive waste of time, really. Like, and also the regenerative properties of kaiju means that we can actually cure most diseases. Like, there's like massive upsides to this, like huge upsides. However, the flaw is we've not been able to revert back yet. Like, so they've injected them with the serum, they've transformed, and no matter what they've done, they couldn't get them back.
Can I deduce from that how much of the process is biological and how much of it is technological?
It is 100% biological.
Okay. Shoot.
It is the use of this beryllium that, like, and also, like, you've heard legends that one of the problems with the Aeons and why they are like they are is that their, like, pioneer ship that was sent out from Earth got lost for ages. Like, well, you say ages, but like 2 or 3 years, but to them it was hundreds of years. Like time warped for them. So yeah, that issue, like, it's almost like using the beryllium, using like our innate biology, like kaiju biology, like, and then adding other chemicals that would allow for the blackout of sensors, the magnesium to destroy the evidence of the body, like if it fell into the wrong hands. It was originally it was only supposed to be like a couple of people, like volunteers by the looks of things, and then
Paladin went too far.
Because you keep seeing reference to like treatment is failing to something. There's some sort of like link to something, but that's redacted like heavily.
Are there supplies for these experiments within this area?
Yeah.
He mentions a serum. Can I find this serum?
Yes, you may.
Okay. Is it small enough that I could take it without a sarcophagus?
Yes. Like,
okay.
The serum is administered to a human subject in the habitat to allow them to transform.
Okay. I'm just gonna pocket a couple of those if I can.
It does only work on organic material.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Oh no.
That's what I'm hoping.
Oh no.
So yeah.
Oh no.
As you guys figure that out, do you want to try and remove Simon, Ollie?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I need systems roll from the two of you, and then we'll do a quick vote to see if we need another break, and then...
Can I, give Ollie advantage in helping?
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. No.
I would really appreciate that, because that was not a good roll.
What I'm here for.
Okay,
and your benefit of your vendetta for your perfectionist-like tendency.
Okay, so that is a 5 success.
You take Simon out the orb. It's almost like a USB drive that you stick on, and like there's a USB feeder in the bottom that like activates him. Simon disappears, as do all the lights in the station.
Shoot.
And you suddenly hear
Oh, hey, so that one that was on the table?
no, they're still strapped down.
Okay.
but no, they are no longer being tasered. They're still strapped down, but
For now.
you're hearing this from other places inside the station.
We need to book it.
And the habitat is literally like 1 up from you, so you can book it straight into the habitat, but the habitat is now not being terraformed, and the I would say you would know this, that the geographical fabricator is now not working either.
But theoretically, if we took it with us, it would be depowered anyway, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it just depends. You don't know what you're now going to go into.
Shoot.
Because you knew what was in there before. Blue, you saying something? Because I'm not hearing.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, now we don't.
Now we don't, yeah. So
We should have taken Simon on the way out, probably.
Bit late now.
It's the catch-22. You can put him back.
Pocketing it.
He's in there. Does anybody want to take a break, or do we just want to power through to the end?
I'd be fine with powering through. I'd be fine with break if.
Good for powering through.
Powering through. Right. So you guys head into the thing. You see a couple of the doors are now like as multiple sets of hands are trying to like pull them free. You see like multiple as like dents are like forming. It seems as though Simon had seemed to contain a few. And as you head into the habitat, the door is wide open now.
Jeez.
There is Arctic blizzard 1 minute, sandstorm the next. You hear as a volcano erupts somewhere, because basically all the parameters have been turned off. So now the land is now just trying to claim whatever it can. Like there's nothing giving it purpose. There's nothing separating into sections. Cold is meeting hot. Plates like forming and you literally watch as like mountains, and the one thing that is constant is in the middle is like this circular grove of grass and this larger than life tree, like huge, and all around it everything else but like is like lightning like, but this one bit is like the middle of the storm, the eye of the storm. I need mobility checks from everybody as they step into if you wish to step into the habitat.
Mobility.
Yeah, mobility. As you like
not using my brain.
You are now dodging the lightning.
Can I use my perfectionist for this, or is that not?
Power was the one we gave you the thing, so perfectionist you can use. Yes, perfectionist is mobility. So this is +3 because everything's wild.
Yeah, no, I fail.
You failed. Fail. Jay, did you pass or did you fail?
I'm trying to get the roll. Sorry, D20 +3, right?
D20 +3.
I succeeded.
Okay.
Fast one, yeah.
You watch as not to be like lightning hits next to him, like he moves out of the way. You guys try and follow the path, and you're just sideswiped by like a tall ground zero. You're hit by a tornado that just cracks you to the side. You take 3 damage as you just are buffeted by all the stuff that's picked up. You Olly jacked 1. You take 7 damage as like a geyser opens up and almost like tears your mech's arm off just through the sheer pressure of the water. Like it's just and you're like your senses going crazy. It almost can't describe in real time what's happening to you because of the fact that there's so much going on. Like, and then for you breaking free, you take 3 damage as you basically run into like an iceberg that like
Oh no.
it like drifts into your way, and you can't, because you're so momentum in, you just like and you take the brunt of the hit and appear on
Being
the other side of
Titanic.
it. Yeah, you appear on the
Oh.
other side of it, but you're like, oh, like your mech's like I need another mobility check from all of you, please. It's +2 now that it's no longer a surprise. It's now just difficult.
Okay. Nope.
Succeed. I
Fail.
succeed.
Fail.
So 2 fails. What about you, Jay?
I failed.
Okay, 3 fails. So you're in the way, 2B. You're like leading the way until suddenly you take 6 damage as like just a giant tree literally erupts, hits the side of your mech's face almost like a punch. Sends you like tumbling, and you have to like commando roll back out of it.
Jeez.
Ground zero, you take 6 damage as like you like go to like vault over that tree, but that tree's really tall, so lightning man like hits you, and then
You have armor points, by the way. Just a reminder.
yeah, remember you've got armor points, and then Hen, you've succeeded, right?
No.
Oh,
Is anyone looking particularly bad?
3 damage to you, Hen, as you like have to scrape along, you like swing underneath the tree, and obviously you take like the arc blast of the lightning bolt that hit ground zero, and you're like and Simon, like in the little ball, you can like feel like Simon's trying to like respond, but because he's not plugged into anything, he can't. Like,
Do I have time to plug Simon into my mech?
No, because Olly has Simon.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so the issue is, right?
Mhm.
The only thing I can think of that I could plug Simon into would be, could I plug him just into my Mac?
Yeah, you could easily plug him
Fine, I'll do that.
in. I would like you to roll presence, please.
Oh, heck. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's a good roll. It's just a flat, right?
Yep.
I got a 5.
Okay, so Simon like appears and is alive, and he's like, "Ah, this is fun." Like, and you see him like go to like do that, and then you like take back control of the mech, and you're like, and he's like, "Oh, I got distracted there. Sorry.
Oh.
What did you do?" Like he's like visibly confused. He's no longer in like the outfit anymore. Like he's back to his normal like just blue freakazoidish self. Like he's like, "What did you do?" Like
We've left you long. Come on.
like you on the scope, interactive matrix, ordnance, and network. Like I'm kind of important. Like what? Okay, I'm gonna guide you through this, okay? And you see him like sit down, almost like meditatively, and he like starts like guiding you. You will have +2, -2, sorry, to all your checks. Like so,
Nice.
a further -2.
So I have a -4 all in all.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Right.
Dang.
So last,
And my mobility is 16.
yeah.
So that's pretty.
Nice.
So last, what's that, Jay?
Oh, I just said nice. That's a good stat.
So you've got one more go of mobility as you
Okay.
are literally on the edge of this clearing.
Everyone just stay alive. We can repair afterwards.
Yeah. You go for it.
Oh, is anyone particularly low on health? Because I can technically take a hit from someone. I think.
I succeeded, so I don't think that matters. Anyways.
I actually also succeeded for once. Rolled a 4.
I
Fail.
succeed.
I'm so sorry, Blue. You've
I mean,
made
that's
it
not
this
what my
far.
mech was built for. I am built to
It's
stay in
Colossus.
one place.
Yeah.
I can take the damage.
Can
if
you?
I'm allowed to. Yeah, with my
We can
kinetic
use quick fix,
absorbers.
right? Oh.
Kinetic absorber.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jay, did you succeed?
Yeah, I succeeded.
Okay, Ollie, you're gonna take the hit for so Blue will get your success and you'll take Blue's fail. We'll take that's kind of how we'll do it. You like push them out the way, deploy your kinetic absorber. the damage is 4 as a basically a magma plume opens up underneath you,
Jeez.
and like it's not like a full volcanic eruption. It's just like almost like a gas bubble, like, and it like hits your mech, and you take the 4 damage. But you all arrive into the central section with this giant tree, and at the base of this giant tree is a kaijin. In its hand, it's sat with something in its hand that it keeps like shaking. It's feminine in appearance, long flowing blonde hair, 2 beautifully radiant green eyes. Like, it is just a giant version of a beautiful woman. She even has like a little tattered dress, and she's like, "Wake up!" As like just tears and tears and tears, to the point where you can almost see like lines down her face where these just haven't stopped, and maybe even like blood from where she's cried so much. Like,
Jeez.
and she's just like, "Wake up, move."
Wait, so they can be conscious?
To some extent, it seems.
Apparently.
Move. Don't leave me here.
What's
Okay,
in the hands?
You'd have to approach to.
I'm gonna
see.
keep my weapon at the ready and just kind of put an arm out, as in like, everyone calm down.
I'll
I'm
have my
gonna
shield
approach.
and axe ready, yeah.
But I'm readying myself to park, basically, in the case of something happening, like setting up a blockade.
Breaking free, a file appears on your thing. Subject number 3,900,999,999.
The last one.
Like, is
Can I pull up the medical record?
yeah,
Do I know who this is? Like, name?
Aurora Surf.
Waifu. For lifeu.
And
Wife
she-
or sibling?
Wife.
Okay.
Surf knee Hastrix is what I've got here. So Hastrix for her former name.
Can I like broadcast through my mech, like to speak to
Yeah.
her? Okay. I'll just say like, Aurora?
Fix him, and she like thrusts what's in her hands towards, and it's the paladin still in human form, with like stuff like clinging to him, and for some reason he's like in a crystalline it's almost like she's like done something to him that's like frozen him.
We might be able to fix him. Can you help us?
Fix him, like she's like, and like as she gets more agitated, as you don't respond, she doesn't have a lot to
Yes.
I'm gonna put my mech's hands out to take him.
No, like she like holds no
Classic
no.
conundrum of the dog with the ball. No,
Yeah, like-
no take ball, only throw.
Yeah, like no, mine. Love him.
Fix him.
You as she like, because she's always had like one hand, like her left hand underneath her other hand. You do notice that he's even fashioned her like a giant wedding ring,
No.
like to like
Giant wife.
yeah.
I
Giant
might do
day.
something really stupid.
Do it.
Can I disembark from my mech and cross to her hands?
Yeah.
Swear to God, don't crush me.
I'm
gonna-
roll presence
Okay.
to see if she like freaks out. You guys are all
That's
watching.
a
it, by
one.
the way.
That's a one.
Yeah. So
Yay.
you like almost like land perfectly and like put your mechanical hand on their hand, and you're like, it's okay, it's fine, and you feel her still like sobbing with her shoulders. It like She starts breathing like she starts breathing a bit easier.
You said he's frozen in something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take out one of the syringes that I took.
Mhm.
Is there any getting that through whatever this container is?
Possibly. It's going to take a lot of strength.
That's something I don't have.
Like,
Is
you do notice though, as you get closer to him, that he has one of them on him.
but not in him?
Yeah, like it's almost like he was going to, and then something froze him in that moment.
Okay. She's still holding on to him. Can we find a way to break this with one of our mechs?
Possibly.
break the ice, but not break him.
Yeah, you know, don't turn him into a mist.
Yeah, you can
Is
try.
it actual ice?
You haven't identified the material.
Can I scan it?
Yeah.
Please do.
Okay, so that is a pretty good roll. I think I succeed. Got a 9 on the roll.
You can't see anything. It's a kaijin.
Yeah, but the ice is not.
Also, she has Simon now, right?
Yes, she does. I will take that back then. I forgot about that. He did not take over your mech. Like, so yes, you can see, and the glass or ice is giving off the same thing that she is. So, like, it's
Oh,
something to do with her.
Okay. Shoot.
It's like you would notice as well that it's like attached to her hand. It's not just like in her hand; it's attached to her hand.
Shoot. We can't.
You need to convince her to let go.
Yeah. How?
lady.
Use Simon.
Jack!
Okay, Simon. How do you feel about being a hologram a little bit more?
It's nice if you wouldn't mind.
Okay,
Like-
can you wear that nice armor you were wearing earlier?
Oh, you want me to look like Surf? Oh, I can do that. And he literally, like, not even with the blue stuff that he did before, he literally looks like him.
Okay, so out there, go. Get her to put it down.
And he like sits there and he's
Be
like,
charming.
Roll for it.
"My love."
Oh no.
Telenovela time. It's telenovela time.
Ah!
My
There you
love,
go.
I need you to put me down, okay? Like, I know that I promised that I'd fix things. And I know that you didn't want me to do the same thing to myself, okay? I understand now. But I need you to let me go. Okay? I need you to let go. Okay? I'm gonna fix this. And she like looks at the thing, looks at Simon, looks at the thing again. Right, let's see if he ace both times. And you see her like melt away, and you see it like retract into her hand, like, and she like wants to like flex her fingers. You see like her fingers like, but she realizes that he's in there and you're in it, and like tiny, and Simon's in it, and you see the paladin. He's still breathing. He is still alive,
But
but
not
he's
like awake,
unconscious.
right? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna take the syringe out of his hand.
Take the syringe, like, and she's like still crying, like, wake up, and he's like, you haven't got long until he wakes up. He's on the giant palm of his wife, who is crying incessantly. Like,
I'm gonna. Is my mech still extended? Can I get back to my mech?
you could just about. It depends if you want to take him or not.
I don't think she'll let me.
I'm gonna calm to the others. trying to make sure the sheet is near it. So this one's technically a survivor. And one that doesn't eat or kill or maim people or freeze people.
Wake up.
Was I able to see that he had that needle in his hand?
Yeah, you would have seen Free take it.
He was clearly just about to inject himself with whatever the serum is.
So let's let him not, preferably.
No, what I'm saying is that you have two options here. One is let him turn into some monster and join his wife, and we just leave with an AI that is very expensive. Or two is we try to leave, his wife tries to kill us, and we have a serial, morally wrong monster of a man in our hands that we are trying to save for some reason.
I thought you were the one that was into the survivors.
Yeah, this survivor converted 4 million people into these creatures.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say turning into one of them is a value punishment.
It's not intended as a punishment.
You do also see that around her now is like, now that you mention that, like there's 4 million, but there's nowhere there's still 4 million. You do notice that there are giant bones around this woman. He's been feeding them to her.
Team, we don't have time to moral discussion. We need to get what we came here for and get out.
Do we know how to shut them down now? Because I don't
Bullet
think
to the
we
face
do.
tends to work.
But
Or I guess it was a
so
plasma
many.
axe to the face.
Is there no kill switch?
He
No.
will know.
That is true.
Yeah. I suggest we
metal
wake
hand to
him
the
up.
face.
Yeah.
So you're waking him up.
Yeah.
Actually, let's do it.
What are you doing here?
Solving your problems for you. Now, you need to tell us how to shut these things off.
Does it look like I found a way to do that?
Okay, we'll go with the default. Laser axe to the face. Got it. Team, we need to
Okay,
move and get what we came
so-
here for.
We're leaving him, or
He's not my problem.
yeah, but if we're leaving him, we might want to leave him some of the funky juice.
I was gathering that his large wife doesn't want him to do that.
Yeah, but how will he survive?
Good question.
Can I get out of this lady's hand?
Yep.
Okay.
I need you to roll mobility as you go to leave.
No.
All of us?
No, just him. As
Yeah.
this paladin goes, I can't let you do that, and just like from nowhere produces a sword of
Do
hits
what?
you as he like hits Hen as a person on person. Like that'd be D4. 4
not
damage
ideal.
to you, Hen, as he just cracks you on the back as you turn to leave. He's like, you'll tell people she's here and they'll come for her, and I can't let you do that. Like, and he like readies his blade.
Didn't you apologize for the whole Pandora thing? I thought you got over this whole thing.
Ow!
I realized that I realized I made a mistake. I'm not going to let them kill her.
We aren't telling anyone.
Yeah, we just need to go
We're not
save
here
our
legally,
ship.
love.
He like puts the sword to Hen because technically he still has another action.
Yeah.
Like
I am bringing out my great sword. Full
You will
mech
turn me into a
great
mist
sword.
too.
I don't care. Full mech great sword. With it's got like a light beam up the side of it. This thing makes this amazing like ka-chunk noise as I get it out of my back, and I point it towards
Oh,
his
this is a
wife.
standstill.
Yeah, I point it towards his wife, and I'm like, that's a really bad decision.
do any of you have the serum?
Hen does. Sorry.
That would be me.
Do you admit that?
Is he asking?
Yes, he is. He's literally asking.
That'd be.
You can roll presence to try and lie.
I mean, I don't see why at this point.
Can I try and intimidate him just to let her go, like following sort of Ground Zero's example?
Yeah, roll presence.
So I'm going to, when I see Ground Zero sort of pull out the, what was it? It was like a giant sword, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out my axe and sort of flank on the other side. So that's a presence, right? Is there any pluses or minuses, or just roll flat?
Roll flat because it's evened out by the fact he's got his giant wife behind him.
Right.
Yeah. Can I try to mediate this?
6, which beats 13.
You watch as he kind of still keeps the blade there, but he is like more wary. You do watch as he like slides a foot backwards, and his wife kind of like sits up a bit more, like almost like prepared.
I try to lie.
You try and lie. Presence.
Please.
Is him being scared giving
Rolled another 1.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, do I look like I could use the serum? And it didn't even work anyway, right?
Then I let you leave with your lives. And you leave me with mine. I can use some of the ship systems to help free your ship. Aurora,
That would be lovely.
he like puts his hand on Aurora's hand, and he's like, we need to go to my quarters. I need you to take me there so I can help them, and then we can go. Okay?
While he's doing this really sweet interaction with his giant wife, via the comms, Ground Zero is just gonna be like, guys, we have his AI.
Doesn't know that. He doesn't know that. Don't worry about it.
So we need to leave now.
I'm not leaving without the terraforming stuff. We need that.
And we need him to like get them off our ship.
Yeah.
Which he can't do without the AI.
Oh, right.
Simon, you
I
can
think we
force
might
them
need
in
to
here,
give the
can
AI
you?
up to save the ship.
He can slingshot you from his thing, so you can help fight off the kaijin.
Yeah, but Simon cannot do that from my mech, can he?
No, he needs to be plugged in. And the
Aw.
terraformer's underneath the tree.
Fine. We're gonna have to give up, Simon.
It's my feeling too.
Can I copy it?
Yes.
Click copy paste. Can I control C real quick? My mech have a.
Just stick him in
Technically,
your drive.
roll systems. Roll systems, see if you can
No!
copy Simon.
Oh my god!
Because he's technically in your mech, so you'd have the thing. It'll be
not
Olly.
me. Sorry, it'll be
Okay.
Ollie. Dang it.
No.
So I'm a perfectionist, so that's a -2 to my roll, which means I'm just inside. We got a
Yes.
12.
You copy Simon. You copy Simon's base code, which means you can reproduce him. You can
Oh
mass
my
produce him.
Oh.
Let us go.
Simon, have you ever wanted siblings?
I'm gonna chuck him into Buddy, my little guy droid, as a dual personality to him.
This
You-
explains the plot of the telenovela. Simon is his own aunt.
Oh!
He'll be able
It
to
all
play
makes
himself
sense now.
finally.
So you have the ability, I'll say, because we're running out of time, we will have the epic montage, like how anime, like bad animes end, when they like PowerPoint
When it's
slideshow,
rolling in
like
the
things.
center.
Yeah, PowerPoint slideshow things happening. So you guys give back Simon, the original Simon. You quickly dig up the terraformer. He lets you do that. He and the geographic fabricator. You get out. He slingshots you out. He uses Simon to defend the thing, and then you watch as you leave. The space station explodes.
Oh, he did like the whole Viking funeral thing.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Simon!
Oh damn.
I
Simon,
mean, that's pretty metal.
he destroys this station. However, you do notice a mech escapes from the station
Ah, never mind.
with
How
a
fleshy does the
Sure.
mech look?
Yeah.
Not very. It's a mech, but it does
Okay.
have like somebody like almost like holding onto the back of it
Piggyback.
Oh, no.
as Simon and Aurora disappear beyond the vein
Aww.
and
Kinda romantic.
look to try and cure her with whatever's left of his research.
You just stole all the serums.
Yeah,
Sure did.
you stole the serums. It's his serum. Like, he could probably make it again if he
Yeah.
can find a kaiju, and he's got a mech, and he's got a giant wife who can go hunting for them.
Right, so
Um,
he can just do this all again. We definitely should have killed that dude.
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably.
He's
Or
not
at
gonna wanna-
least turn him into one of them. So
he's
he
not
can't
going to want
make
to test it on his
more.
wife. But yeah, thank you very much. As you guys return to the buzzard, you give George everything they want, including the base code for Simon, which is like so it's so lucrative it almost kills me. It's so lucrative that like the buzzard
Look,
is pretty much
They've been warned about those cigars.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Like-
told him.
We're team
Yeah.
1 now.
You have somehow made it out of everything but the dark. You've taken everything but the darkness with you, and the real lesson we learnt was the friends we made along the way.
The giant wife we made along the
giant-
way.
the
A million other
wife.
giant wives we made along the way.
Oh no.
Aw.
But yeah, so to round off, I think we're gonna go and do another round of player like goodbyes, sign-offs. I'll sign off, and then our producer will hand you back to the fantastic Ada. Before we go, though, I was supposed to do this at the beginning, but I forgot because I got excited. I'd like us as a cast, if you wouldn't mind, if we could give like a bit of a shout out and applause, either by clicking or by actual applause, to all the other DMs, players, producers, people in chat, everybody who's been donating to the brilliant cause that is the World Central Kitchen and the Ukraine relief campaign, because people like Tempest, Blue, Prue, Nades, and everybody who you've not been able to see on screen have been fantastic, and they deserve our love and respect. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate everything that you've done, and thank you. Fairy Corgi Steeplechase as well was everything I dreamed of and more. So let's do the round off, and so we'll start again, reverse numeric order though this time. Hen, let's go.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. My name is Hen. I use the moniker I Write Robots. I'm an author. You can find all my work at iwriterobots.com if you're interested, and thanks for playing Everything But the Dark with us.
B, J.
Yeah, what Adderson said. Thank you everyone for all the time and effort you guys have put in, and thank you guys, everyone who's watching, for your donations, your support, and your great commentary. It was a pleasure.
Ollie.
I just have to say thank you to the amazing people at Roll for Good. It's been a blessing to work with everyone, and thank you to the audience too. This has been an experience.
And then last, our very own Blue.
Thank you for running this game. Great game. Love it. Hella sci-fi. We're so into that. Just to say, yeah, you can find me on various social platforms. I will be sticking around. I hope you guys do too for the next couple of minutes, because we've got Ida coming back, and also we're going to have some giveaways before we wrap up the show.
And just to finish off, my name's Addison. You can find me at the Pod of Many Things, and this is my last thing to you. Okay, listen. Okay, this is not an ASMR stream. No, I'm joking. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whenever you are, I hope you're safe. I hope you're well. I hope you're happy, and above all else, I hope that you've enjoyed this and used it as a platform to promote the brilliant work of the World Central Kitchen today. Okay, be awesome.